Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, and welcome to the Chaos 120 live stream for 12/29/2017. This is going to be our last Saturday night stream for the year 2017, so let's try to make it a good one. We have a panel with us tonight. Of course, we have Irving Twin.
Say hi, Irving. Oh, we're off to a great start.
Yeah, fantastic.
No, yeah,
we have Greater Ajax.
It got worse, Scoob. I'm sorry.
Hello, everybody.
And GCV.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
He's back. We got Mantis-Tree with us. Beautiful.
Yeah, is it just me, or is your mic breaking up a little bit, Scooby?
No, it's me. My mic is a piece of shit. This is what happens when you buy American and you buy cheap. Yeah, we're this is, like I was just saying, this is the last stream of the year for, well, Saturday night stream for the year. So a lot of people, what I've been reading is they're doing a year in review, and they're actually calling it the year of Trump. We can eventually segue into that, but for right now, what do you guys think so far? I mean, so far we're at the end. What do you guys think of 2017?
I think Taylor Swift is a bitch for loving it. Like, fuck.
How dare she?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I've had a very, very enjoyable year. Thank God. It's great walking around the streets. You know, you put the MAGA hat on by me, and the glares. Oh God, the glares! It's beautiful. You know, that's about the highlight of my year. Yeah.
You need an America First shirt on when you're wearing that MAGA hat, just to rub it in.
Oh, I got the big red shirt that matches it. I have a MAGA hat and a MAGA shirt. I think you've seen this. You've seen it. I was wearing it on Halloween. It's a big ass red "Make America Great Again" T-shirt.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, especially me. I'm a big guy, so it looks like a circus tent when I go down the street. So we got anything good in the news, guys, or what?
I'm sure I could find something.
That kid that swatted that guy was on an interview with Keemstar.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
That's just insanity, man.
I don't understand what it is with these kids.
Well, I guess there's there was two.
Like called a SWAT team down on Keemstar?
Yeah. No, not on Keemstar. What happened was there was a couple of guys battling on Call of Duty. They bet $1.50. One guy lost, one guy wins. It devolves into a shit show of name calling and threatening. And one guy said, "I'll SWAT you," and the other guy said, "Oh yeah, well here's my address. Go ahead and SWAT me." So the other guy forwarded the address onto what's his name, Swatistic. It was his handle on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, and he called in a hostage situation with a homicide. SWAT team showed up and killed some random dude that answered the door.
Holy fuck!
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, well, in the news article it said that, or in one of the interviews, anyways, from the family. The police didn't even knock on the door. The guy, I guess, knew somebody was outside. He opened the door. The family heard him scream, and then they heard a shot. The guy was allegedly unarmed, and the SWAT team took the screen door as evidence. But yeah, after they killed him, they cuffed everybody, threw him in the car, questioned him up and everything, and big investigation now.
Oh, of course.
I mean, sadly, it was just a matter of time until something like this happened.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, there's been less instances of swatting over the last, say, year and a half. But yeah, eventually somebody was going to flip out and get shot. It was just an inevitability. You're definitely right on GCV.
Yeah, I'm going to need something harder.
There was one kid there a couple years ago. I can't remember the exact date. He was shot in the face with a rubber bullet after being swatted. He survived.
Yeah.
Jesus. Kids.
You know,
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe I'm showing my age,
So-
but you know, we used to just go out back behind the school and the parking lot, just beat the crap out of each other. We didn't get you know, SWAT teams or the cops involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know not to change the subject, but it is actually related to this. In my Discord server, there's got to be at least 5 guys over 20.
Hmm.
That's a little bit odd. I mean, swinging this. I mean,
I think we might have missed something there. Can you start over from Discord server?
oh, okay. I said there's at least maybe
So,
5.
is it my internet breaking out, or are you guys both roboting?
It's no, it's probably mine. My internet's horrible.
Yeah, Scooby's
So it's
robot.
me
because
then.
of cold. Yeah. All right. Let me try this again. Give me a second. Ajax, what was that thing you told me to do last time at 5?
Control F5.
All right, give me a second.
And if that don't work, do Alt F5.
I see you, Sharsh. Thank you. Of course, if you actually post it in the chat on YouTube, that's a little bit easier. I tend to monitor that.
You might be on mobile. A lot of phones live chat.
Someone
on
in the
mobile.
Discord is saying, "No, Irving's coming through fine." Oh, no. So, what was Scooby getting at before I interrupted?
Well, he's back now, so
Oh, he's just watching it through Discord. Okay, my bad.
All right. I think it's working now. Can you hear me?
oh,
Much better.
There we
Okay.
go, bud.
Much better.
All right. Sorry. It's this computer. It's just once it gets like stuck, it gets stuck, and I have to do that. No, I was saying though is 1,000 guys in my Discord server who are virgins who are like I think over 20. Like I think one guy's like 26. I've never met that many virgins in my life over the age of like 19 before.
Give me a second. If we get away from it, let me come back to it because I have something that explains that. You guys go ahead and talk.
I'm just saying again, it's related to the same like phenomenon with these kids doing this swatting. It's like you stop maturing at a certain point. It's
This is only going to make sense if I can find this fucking thing.
you know the phenomenon. The way I can probably sum it up. You just remember Grandma's Boy.
Yep.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yeah.
You remember Nick Swartzen's character in that?
In which?
In Grandma's Boy, he was I don't know. He was like his fuck. I don't know. Robin to his Batman. His second banana. I was trying to think of the term for him.
Okay.
He was like his second banana in the movie. Yeah. He's 30 years old. I think in the movie he's still wearing footy pajamas and he's got one of them big race car beds.
Yeah, but I still want a race car bed.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm nearly 50. I still.
Yeah. Well, not. All right. I guess that's a bad example. No, my point is though, I see a lot of this now with these people like these 20-somethings where they're still acting like teenagers. It's like the suspended adolescence.
I'm sure
I
you
guess
could
it was
chalk
just
that up to a lot of things. Helicopter parenting, lack of goals. I don't know, lack of adversity even. You know,
Well, I'm just saying, I like you see all these pranks, like the swatting have gone up, but the social interactions between these kids has gone down. It's like some sort of a. Oh, hey, Burnside.
Oh, hey, what's up, dudes?
yeah, Burnside, use your headphones, man.
Do what?
Headphones.
Oh, they're plugged in. At least they should be. Hold on.
Yeah, you were making us all echo for a minute. All right. Irv, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know. He was looking.
I'm looking for a thing that explains this. Like, it explains it perfectly, and it is obviously like a little bit hyperbolic. But give me a second because I can't find it on my phone.
Sure.
Is this any better?
Okay, much better.
Irish Rose just texted me. She said it was a combination of autism and feminism.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm glad you said something. I've been neglecting chat like a horse's ass. Hello, chat. Sorry, I've been ignoring you. I'm an idiot. I have a lot on my plate today, guys.
Are you fucking kidding me? I have it right here, and the fucking resolution is too bad to read.
Ouch.
Fuck.
Ripperoni.
Don't you normally wear glasses to read?
Yeah.
It's not the resolution. Well,
Control plus.
Sorry,
or
talk while I try to find this.
I was going to say, can you just give us a brief synopsis of what it is, or there's something that needs deep?
I won't do it justice. That's why I'm struggling so hard to look for it.
Hey, it's not a problem.
Take your time. We'll think of something to talk about. I mean, there's always some crazy shit going on in the world.
Tell Burnside about the virgins.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, to get this, Burnside. Apparently, mathematics in my head, just from casual conversation, there's about at least a half dozen people I can think of off the top of my head on the Discord server that are old enough to drink but are still virgins.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There's a real upswing in your generation not going out and getting any, but instead they're swatting the hell out of each other and playing video games all day.
Well, I'm sorry, man. There's been an attack on boys in general in school and in society.
No,
they're not even having sex with other boys, is what I'm saying. It's not, they're trying to turn these kids all gay. They're not even doing that.
Yeah, but when you've had all aggressiveness and all conquest ripped out of you, how are you going to pursue anyone? You're afraid of girls. You're absolutely terrified of talking to a woman. A, she's going to accuse you of mashing on her, that you're sexually harassing her. Or she's 10 times tougher than you are.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're saying the phenomenon of
I
these...
think I found it.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, geez, you were muted for a while. What did you miss?
What's that?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Yay.
Go ahead, Irving.
I want to ask you, Scoob, are most of these guys, as far as you know, are they white guys?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, young white males. With the relatively successful destruction of the patriarchy in your generation and the homogenization of gender roles, you are now officially of no value to society. But wait, it gets better. Given that your fathers and grandfathers still benefit from their patriarchally given gifts, such as the ability to act like actual men in their social construct without repercussion, they won't have any fucking idea why you're such a dumb little screw-up, because they exist in an alternate reality where they still fucking matter. Bonus gifts. Racism perpetuated by your fathers and grandfathers before you is still within the very real living memory of society, and you get to inherit the title of being utter fucking scum by merit of your gender/race without having actually participated in the evils they committed. Best of all, despite being statistically the most unemployed/hopeless bracket in the entire Western world right now, you're apparently super fucking entitled, even though your gender role and racial identity have been literally burned to the ground. But guess what? No one fucking cares, and no one will care. Your parents, society, and women in particular cannot fathom how perpetually fucked your role in the world is, and have no fucking clue what could possibly be motivating you to stay inside and play fucking video games all day.
Well said. Well said.
I would
well
not
worth
have
wait.
been able to do that justice.
God
I would
damn
not
it, Irv. We're going to get a copyright strike now. You can't read the DNC's newsletter without asking.
Oh, fuck. Hillary Clinton might just pop out of nowhere and give us a lawsuit while Bill Clinton tries to have sex with everyone.
You know, as laughable it
No.
is, I mean,
Hillary's not going to.
Good.
Sorry, Ajax. I was just going to say Hillary's not going to do anything. We're all going to commit suicide by shooting ourselves in the back of the head.
Twice. No, I mean we can laugh at an article like that, but unfortunately, it's dead on. You know, there's nothing to strive for these young men. Literally nothing. Even when they get a job, it's such a dead end, go nowhere job. There's no chance for advancement. So why even try?
That's why I had such a good time, man. I mean, shit. Even with my fucking bachelor's degree, here I am working fucking security, dude. I'm babysitting a politician's hoarding pile, and a bunch of grown masculine men who work in auto parts and stuff. Yeah, like they need me for legal babysitting and shit. Nah.
You know, I blame a lot of it. I remember when I was younger, I always used to hear, you'd hear the good church-going folks always saying, oh, the meek are going to inherit the earth. The meek are going to inherit the earth. Like, this shit is preordained. I think they mistranslated that. I think that it meant something like the meek are going to wind up buried in the earth or something. I don't know. I don't see how the hell these people are going to inherit anything, these bunch of beta friggin' limp noodle weirdos.
I think, if anything, the meek are going to become the earth. I think that's essentially what it's going to be, I think that's probably what they are.
The meek.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what it was, Irving. Yeah, the earth shall inherit the meek.
The earth inherits all of us once we go. But Irving, you're getting high praise from Cryptic in chat.
Oh,
he's never seen a comedian or a Canadian read an article without ever saying a or a boot.
that's because it sounds more like a boat anyway. Thank you, though.
Shit, that's funny. That reminds me. Shit, Scoob. Did we tell him about the other Canadian?
Yeah.
Who, Mentis? He's
here. No. He's actually in chat. Irving, our buddy Zeno. He's from your neck of the woods. He's Canadian.
Oh, way to be. Well, I mean.
And he likes trash.
Shadowley Canadian, bro.
How's it going?
Now remember, when you give Zeno the Shadowley, one of two things must happen. Your right hand must extend in a particular fashion, as if you are pointing up at something. If you get where I'm going with this. Or you must lift from underneath your skirt and proceed to do the same thing with your trap.
No, but my neck of the woods, I don't know. Sometimes Americans don't understand how fucking big this country is. Fucking Pox said, hey, you're in Ontario, right? I was like, yeah, why? Do you think you can help my buddy from Ontario out? I was like, dude, Ontario's like really big. He's like, no. You're in Toronto. He's in, was he in Windsor? I'm like, that's like a 4.5-hour drive. He's like, what? But I've driven 20 hours west and not left the province.
Yeah, that's the thing I get confused all the time. Like, whatever I talk with you about like geography or anything. It's like, oh, we could just go drive over to the next state. And you're like, dude, the next state is a 1-day drive. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm like, wait, what? My next state is like a 30-minute drive.
Like I live in a cage, because that's how it is here. Yeah, we do not travel from New York. Like west to us is Pennsylvania. Going down south is New Jersey. Christ, we go up to Massachusetts. We think we're in the Yukon territory. Like well-traveled people. Like I was trying to explain it to Pox, and I told him, I said, okay, there's an awesome job, all this pay, all these benefits. I explained it to him. He says, okay. I said, your commute both ways is 2 hours. He said, okay, take that job. And he's like, you're putting me on. I said, no. We do not commute more than an hour in each direction. We won't do it. They do not like to go that far. I actually am so citified. I didn't see cows until I was 20 years old, other than like in a book or on the television.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Or a fat chick on the subway.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, the guys in my fraternity thought it was hysterical.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
used
thought
to.
you were joking until you actually told me. No, it was the first time I seen a cow.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all looking at each other like, Scoop, you never seen a cow before? Well, yeah, in magazines and like the television and shit. Looking at me, they're like, you're fucking with us. I'm like, no, I've never seen a cow before up close. They're like, yes, right? I'm like, in the part of New York where I live. I said, there's no farms. It's just buildings and houses and trains and shit. Like, you're fucking with us. I'm like, no. So they pulled up. I was shocked. They were sitting there, like rolling, laughing. They thought it was hysterical because I didn't realize how big the damn things were.
Oh yeah, they're massive, man. They produce lots of beef and leather.
Were you just like, what the
Yeah, I
hell
didn't
is
realize
that?
Yeah, I didn't realize. I'm like, holy shit! It's the size of my friggin' aunt's couch. I thought the thing was gonna be like. I thought it was going to be like the size of maybe a small dog or something. I didn't know cows were that big.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Small dog? No, they're fucking massive, dude. They're the size of cars sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, I know that now. I mean, when I first got upstate, like one of the kids asked me if I wanted to go cow tip, and I flat out looked at him. I'm like, "You fucking with me?" All right.
Oh my god. Dude, I thought people where I used to live with my father did that for fucking fun.
Oh.
Well, upstate, that's where they get all the really good mushrooms. So what these idiots do, they'd go and they'd pick the shrooms, and then when they started kicking in, they'd start knocking over the cows.
Oh, for fuck's sake. A
Yeah.
bunch of
I mean, yeah, it sounds about right.
Why? What were you gonna ask?
What? No, nothing.
All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you get the best mushrooms. Apparently, you're gonna get her in the Central Leather Stocking district. I don't know. That was just like a big thing up there. Was the mushroom buying.
Mm.
Around for miles. The fucking town of Utica stunk like patchouli for a month in the summer. Yeah.
Oh.
I only got that opinion of him from living on a commune for about, I don't know, 2 months. That was no fun.
Why did you do that?
Yeah. Oh no, I got this opinion that I got, I actually like went out and experienced it. I just didn't like go and look through books. I actually lived on a friggin' hippie commune.
That's
The
fucking.
shit you do for journalism.
That's both ridiculous and incredible.
Yeah, like why? But good shit at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually my stock and trade is I'm a journalist, so I had the opportunity to live there. I was a teenager, so I said, "Yeah, fuck it." I went and I lived on I'm living on this this hippie commune and upstate New York. But what these idiots did, they went and found a dirt cheap house to rent, and it was in Cordelia, which is the crystal meth capital of the Northeast, if not the entire country. So these idiots went and rented a converted crack house.
You've never been to West Virginia.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the layout of it. I'm hip. I know what the fuck where I'm in, and they're looking at me like, "Cause I'm freaking out." And they're like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "This is a crack house." I said, "Okay, you see the hole above the door?" "Yeah." I said, "You see the little knot in it?" I said, "How they have the sink stopper holding it there?" "Yeah, we were wondering what that's for." I said, "Yeah. You take that out." I said, "When they knock, they pass the money through. You pass the crack through." "Money?" "Yeah, assholes. You're not ripping off crackheads." These idiots thought they were just gonna like let them
kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so I didn't have to pay any rent for the first 2 weeks because I was, nominated to chase away the crackheads. So
When you're going out for
it's not really.
when you're going out for a good time and you end up in a crack den. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, they obviously these hippies weren't selling crack, so they were just living there, being shoeless and stinking. And I lasted maybe about 8 weeks tops. And when we're watching the news and they're showing that there was a drive-by shooting and a shootout, and they got the outlines and the tape, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that fucking looks familiar. And this is early, it's about 6 a.m, and they pan back, and the reporter's talking, and I look, the house we're staying in, and there's my roommate cooking breakfast. It was live out front of the house. My boy, I'm like, I got $300. Get up here and pick me up. And that was the end of my adventure in the hippie commune.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. I thought I told you about that when we were in D.C.
You didn't tell me about the drive-by. No, you told me about when you got the plates, and they're like, "Oh, you got us new plates. We needed that money for food." And then you're like, "Dude, these plates suck." And after that, you left.
Yeah. Well, they did a lot of stupid shit. They were morons. Like, we had to take one of them to the hospital because he nearly asphyxiated himself. He was sitting in this pup tent with a foot water bong, and the idiot got the zipper stuck, so he couldn't breathe because all the smoke. Right,
What
go
a
ahead, Pat.
fucking moron! Oh my God.
I mean,
Yeah,
Darwinism at its best.
Yeah, yeah. Dog.
See, now that's a reality show I would watch. Just a bunch of cameras
Oh,
around
God.
watching those idiots stumble through life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's I had already had a problem with like Marxism and communism and all of that fun ism shit beforehand, but living with a bunch of long hairs sitting there trying to enforce this shit on me, and
Yeah, I made,
Well, it takes like 3 hours to. Hey?
Yeah, fuck all their bullshit, man. I fucking love how they, espouse all this bullshit and stuff, and it's like, yeah, in a real communist country, you people would be executed publicly.
You know why they use so much patchouli?
Why?
Because in their system,
They don't
it takes 3 hours to get enough hot water to get a 3-minute shower.
Oh, fuck all that, dude. I already got enough trouble with my fucking water pressure because of the pipes and shit. Yeah, fuck all of that.
Yeah, nah. I live with those fucking people, and I had no problem. No problem. I always thought they were peaceful, nice, friendly folks, and once you get into that thing and they start trying to push their economic shit, and you know what? Peaceful or not, I'll give them credit. These little motherfuckers got stones. He's the leader of this little house. He was like half my size. Knocked the shit out of this guy, but he wouldn't back down. I'll give him credit. But at least they're dedicated morons.
Gotta give them that at least.
Yeah.
They really
I'm
believe
a
in it.
capitalist, bro. Yeah, I'm a capitalist, bro. I believe in the hustle. Want to make a buck, let's all make money. I'm capitalist.
Yep, I'm down there with you.
I don't know. To me, like I was talking to a couple of those Romanian trolls, my server today, and they're all talking to me about socialism.
Oh,
Who the
please.
fuck wants to sit? Why do you want to sit on your ass? Why would you not want to get up and work? They're like, well, what about people that can't work? I said, yeah, there's no problem with helping out the needy. I got no problem with that. But and I still want to work. Who the fuck are you to tell me I can't work? That's just me.
Yeah.
If you have the wherewithal to actually want to make something of yourself, I got friends who are in wheelchairs. They go to office jobs all the time, and I know one guy. He's in a wheelchair. He still does masonry work. He can still do the walls and help put this shit up. Yeah, he knows because he's really good at laying bricks. So when it gets to a certain height, he takes over. What I'm saying is it's just this whole thing. I don't know. I was raised around working people.
Yeah.
Not want to do something, like make something with yourself. I don't know.
What the socialists don't understand about, what about people that can't work and taking care of the needy? Capitalism is the means to generate the wealth necessary
To take
care of the fucking needy.
Yeah.
Scoob,
if
did you say they were Romanians?
Yeah. Manura's little crew.
Well, for fuck's sake, all they have to do is ask their parents, what was it like when you went to Bulgaria 20 fucking years ago? Because I was there 20 years ago.
Hey, you tell me about that.
Scary. I've seen communism at work. I've seen socialism at work. Fuck.
I just don't understand. And he said it best. It's arrogance. It really is.
It's greed. Believe it or not, it's greed. To want and not have to earn it is greed.
Yeah, well, just to bump the Canadian too, though, right? Like that. What he's saying is like everyone who thinks that way is saying, "I know what's best for you, whether you like it or not." And if I had all that power, then I would make it perfect.
Yes, and I'd be a benevolent ruler, and everything be fine. I wouldn't abuse my power, and you'd be okay, not in a gulag. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's your fucking bullshit, man.
Just had to bump my Canadian because I know he gets a lot of shit sometimes.
Oh, he's a man. No, seriously, if it wasn't for people like Jordan Peterson, I would have probably wrote Your Country off, which really breaks my heart because, you know, I always thought of Canada like, you know, I always thought of Canada like America was like the wild loudmouth brother and Canada was the chill brother. Like,
yeah,
that's the way I looked at it.
And now we're the fucking autistic brother.
Oh, you've never spent the night in a Canadian bar.
I don't know. I always thought of Canada as just America's hat. But, I mean, brother
America
was
was Canada's pants.
No, Canada's the ice bag on our hangover.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I guess it's my bias has always been because I was a big Alpha Flight fan. So just the artwork. It looked like fucking paradise. I'm sitting there looking, you know, it's all gorgeous women in Jeeps driving through the mountains with trees and shit, and there's waterfalls everywhere. I'm looking at it like, my God, I want to go there. It looks like a beer commercial.
Yeah. I live in Toronto, the least Canadian place in Canada. Yeah, we can argue Vancouver because it's basically like a part of China now.
Yeah,
but that's not. Yeah, but yeah, no, Alpha Flight and the way they draw it, like it's not too far off of what it's like to take a fucking drive outside the city in Canada, man. Like,
yeah, because you know, a lot of people, they don't realize it because, you know, they hear New York. The first thing they think of is, you know, buildings, sewers, homeless people, crack, rats, all the fun shit.
Yeah.
Our crazy mayor and the topless blue-haired feminists chasing you through the streets with picket signs. But they don't realize that's only like not even 5% of New York. The rest of it is like a miniature version of Canada.
Yeah.
The trees and the lakes and rivers.
Well, what it is people don't realize if you look at like a globe, right, and you see the dots that say like New York City, the dot that says Toronto, that's no bullshit. That dot is approximately the size of it compared to the world, right? So you have all this space on the globe that has no dots, and people just never go there. Because if you go there from the city and you're not well prepared, you're going to die. Right. We can't survive out there anymore without special training, right? So you can't go too far from, you know, a car and a gas station and a fucking Tim Hortons. Do you guys have Tim Hortons? You know that?
I'm aware of what a Tim Hortons is.
Okay, all right.
We have them in Michigan. That's about it.
Nice. But yeah, you know what I mean, right? That people don't really know how big the world is because their worlds are, you know, like they have to be smaller. You can only function within so much space and within so many people. So actually being able to open your head up to the idea that, guess what? 95% of our population is crammed against the American border and everything else is basically empty wilderness. People don't get it
that way.
Yeah. Oh, we got so much water. Oh.
Yeah, like I live about 12 hours north of.
Stop! I'll let you finish. But did you hear it? A boat, not a boot.
I heard it. Yeah,
Did hear it. Can confirm.
On a boat.
Okay, sorry. Go
What
ahead.
a hard look at Irving Twins' boat.
Yeah. Anyways, I live approximately 12 hours north of Irving, and it takes me about 2 hours to drive to a neighboring town. And we got black bears. Like most people have a gun in their home to protect themselves from the wildlife.
Awesome.
Another thing people don't know about Canada: 24% of Canadians own guns, and there's about as many legally owned long guns and handguns in Canada as there is Canadians.
Yeah, but there's nobody there. That's why.
There's like person here, person there, polar bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You want to
What
hear
is it,
something wild?
35 million people and 40 million polar bear?
Oh, I wish. It's like, what, 15,000?
Yeah, I know.
Just if you look on a map of my hometown, I've said this a few times. I've given out these stats, so I'll go through it quick. My hometown is only 3.2 square miles. In that 3.2 square miles, there is 1.6 of the miles are water. Within what's left of that landmass is 48,000 people.
Oh, that's pretty dense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculously dense. I had a few people come out and visit me, and they couldn't believe how cramped and on top of each other we are.
Yeah.
If you're not used to it, it kind of blows your mind. I actually live on, I believe, either a 32nd or a 64th of an acre. The property is 30 foot across by 60 foot deep. And that's it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's my driveway apron.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had a friend come up and visit me once. We went to school together upstate, and he came. He was actually from Texas, and he came to visit, and he said to me, "Holy shit!" I said, "What?" He's like, pointing at my house. He's like, "Yeah, my grandfather had one of these in his backyard. He kept his tools in it." And I'm like, "You're an asshole."
Fuck.
Oh, what happened?
No, I just mean like, fuck, that's harsh.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
No, I mean, how many square feet?
What,
that
how
house?
many square feet?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Like,
Bro, I can't even tell you the square footage. I don't know it. All I know is I could park probably 7 Cadillacs in my yard, and it would the back bumper of one would touch the front, and the front bumper of the other would touch the other end of the yard. My yard is that small. I got small property.
yeah.
You got more property than I used to live on, man. Shit. On my folks' house.
Well, you're in the heart of Chi-Town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So
Yeah,
I'm not
they're
even
epic
within the
properties,
city.
man. The fucking funny thing is the houses are so close together. If you pull a me and you forget your fucking keys, you can do is you can actually put your back against your house, your feet against your neighbors, and climb up into your house. Because that's how close the fucking houses are to each other. Sometimes if you're lucky, you got a bit more space than that, but typically that's how close they are.
Well, a lot of
Yeah, that's
of the 3 flats have an inch between the walls.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Actually, you know what? I can point this out. Do you guys remember the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire?
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what my neighborhood looks like. Houses are that small and that close to each other. Yeah. Actually, a nicer neighborhood than mine. My neighborhood's working class. That's actually an upper class neighborhood. So picture the Spider-Man houses, but dilapidated.
Oh, that's funny.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a more realistic type of environment that Spider-Man would live in.
In that movie, anyway, it was all computer generated.
Oh, of course it was. Easiest way to make a city, man. You know, that way, I mean, hell, this is the one thing I remember from video games and stuff. Like, whenever video games tried to use actual cities, they had to go through, like, mega fucking bureaucracy. And the irony is, it turns out it was basically the same thing for people who are wanting to do the same thing with movies and stuff. Like, Fantastic Four, when they did the whole Golden Gate Bridge and all that stuff, they were actually trying to get the real deal. And then the city was like, oh, no, you're going to pay out the ass, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And they're like, fuck you. We're going to go off on this corner over here, and we're just going to make our own and fucking do it.
Do you guys remember the second one, Spider-Man 2, where he was fighting Dr. Octopus?
Fuck yeah, that's like one of the best fight scenes in the history of film, man.
Yeah.
Do you know when that fight scene started, the movie theater by me emptied. I think I was the last person left in there, like me and a handful of people. Train like that in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, no L, right?
Okay.
So that's what killed your suspension of disbelief in a Spider-Man movie was the train.
Hey,
Wow.
We're New Yorkers. We take that shit really personal. They basically they fabricated something, and that was it. People got
Like,
up and walked
They
right the fuck
fabricated
out.
everything, man. That's Hollywood for you.
I just want to address
But
that.
that's something that's a no-no.
I just want to
I mean,
address G's comment there because that's actually true. You want me to suspend my disbelief and think that a man can be bit by a radioactive spider and gain some sort of superpowers and fight some fucking cybernetic crazed doctor villain? Okay. Suspending my disbelief. Now everything else had better be fucking perfect because I only got so much room for this. And
No, but it's just really like me personally. I sat there. I didn't take it to heart, but people were like cursing, stormed out of the theater cursing. Like one guy, this one black guy's walking past me. He's like, "Motherfucking Marvel." He said, "There's no fucking L train in Manhattan." Like cursing. It's like the fuck. Really pissed off about this. That's part of the reason I don't think Spider-Man 3 did as good. Like people were fed up. I don't know. It's just something we're uptight about.
Yeah, the one thing that pissed me off as far as like cities and stuff being misrepresented, I used to have this habit when I used to hang out with my good buddy Bill and his son Ryan. I'd basically to nurse my hangover or to nurse my drinking. We'd play video games and stuff, and I'd play Watch Dogs because that game's supposed to have the actual city in there. And the first thing that made me laugh hysterical because I was like, there's no way in hell that this would happen is you go to a gun store and I'm just like, nope, not in Chicago, hell no. And I was looking at it like they tried to like kind of rip off the Grand Theft Auto thing. I'm just laughing at all the fucking cool guns and stuff they have in the game. And I'm like, there's no way in hell ever you could buy a gun in this game. And then the different neighborhoods and stuff they had were just completely like cookie cuttered and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't supposed to be here. Nope, that's not supposed to be here. And stuff, and it's just like, why you butcher my city? Why you only and in technicality, they only used half of the city. So I'm zipping around. I'm like, wait a minute, where's all the bad neighborhoods? I mean, there's Austin over here. You know, where's freaking Inglewood? I want to go to Inglewood and get a level up just for surviving it.
Yeah.
You know, in that same vein, you just made me think about it. I will give him credit. I don't know if you ever played Prototype.
yes,
No, that's
Prototype.
I need to play because everyone told me that is an amazing game. And it's like by the time I got a system for it, it got the red ring of death, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Prototype followed after that awesome Spider-Man game for PlayStation 2, I think, where the tagline for it was "Take New York for a spin," and it was pretty goddamn
I think
close.
I have that one.
Yeah, I still, it's one of the few PS2 games that I've sat on. It's still the best one because of the locomotion system is just phenomenal. Yeah, I know it cheats. It's not really true physics or whatever, but it was just so much fun to actually feel like you were Spider-Man for a minute. And Prototype is a completely different locomotion system, but again, they nailed it. And it's this great, like, constant flow of movement through these huge open worlds. All this, like, they did a great job with it.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Oh crap!
Hey, Porpoiseful, how are you, man?
Poor Bess.
Well,
Hey,
when I played Prototype, like a bunch of us, like we all immediately rented it, and everyone had their headsets on and shit. And okay, let's go down to St. Mark's and see if the Kiev's there. We went and checked, and sure enough, that's there, and the subway station was there. It was really well done. Shocked, they put a lot of effort into it.
I'll definitely have to try that game. That's the one of many games I've been meaning to try. So typically, whenever I get around to actually getting a decent game, it's like years down the line. Like Fallout 4. I'm just gonna be able to freaking get my own stupid copy of it for this new damn computer I have, because it's like, oh, now I can actually sit down and do this. Now I don't have to worry about someone shouting over my shoulder, and on top of that, it's like I have a system that can run it. Yay!
Here's the problem with something like Prototype, though. Like at this point, either like three possibilities. One, and I think this is most likely, you're not going to be able to find it. Two, if you find it, you're going to be very lucky and it's going to cost like $2. Or it's become collectible and it's going to cost like twice as what it cost when it was brand fucking new.
That's
so good luck,
list. Steam has everything. I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, if anything, though, if any of you are ever going to come here, do yourself a favor and actually try to play that game, because literally you can plan out your whole route if you're going to go to Manhattan using that game. You can actually walk the streets. Granted, you're going to have to fight cops and shit, but that's what I'm getting at. That's why I was saying how authentic it is. Like,
Dude,
we
that's
all
awesome.
rented that game. The first thing we were doing, like, we were looking for different locations to see if they were really there, and sure enough, like, obviously it doesn't have the guy's likeness, but we found like the falafel stand that we all used to go to over on 45th.
Fuck no.
We found, we actually were able to find a Kiev down over on St. Mark's Place.
Oh, that's
Yeah, well,
Just to
that's what I'm
backtrack
saying.
for a second.
wow. I'll
When you
definitely, when I come and see you, I'm definitely gonna have to try that and see if I could Twitch stream it or something, because that sounds like so much fucking fun.
Now, when you said that you have to fight cops and stuff, is that in the game or when you actually go on your trip to New York?
Oh Lord.
But let me ask you, Scoob, if you have that Spider-Man 2 that I was talking about, how does that hold up? Because that's a couple of years before Prototype.
You know
So how
what?
does it hold up the same way? I imagine the details will be fewer, but how about like the streets and just the shapes and size of buildings? Like, is it?
Again, it's that fanciful New York City that they pushed in the movie.
They had to put the L in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is. They took the map of New York City, and where there could have been tall buildings, they just said fuck it and added tall buildings. So they made it like it's our city skyline is nice, but it's not that nice.
Right.
And so Chicago definitely has. You guys got a great skyline. It's just your skyline's a little bit smaller than ours. Like we have. You got to remember also we have actually two lines in Manhattan, because you have trade centers and then you have the other, like you have Midtown, because of the way the bedrock is set. So not all of Manhattan is tall buildings. There are two clusters with these huge hundreds of stories high buildings. The rest of the city, they range between 10 and 50 stories depending, which is still tall.
Right.
But if you go in there for the major, like the ones like up in the clouds and shit, Chicago has like a bigger cluster in one area. A lot more impressive, your skyline. But New York has actually two separate skylines.
If you really want to know how impressive it is, most of our skyscrapers don't touch bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
They're built on sand and water.
So
that is actually really impressive.
So do they do that? Is it Abu Dhabi trick where they're all fucking connected underneath to each other and they act as no?
There's there's a series of pyramid-shaped pylons underneath each building,
right,
that distribute the weight evenly. Most of what's considered our lakefront is actually landfill from the Chicago fire.
That's actually true of most modern cities, from what I understand. Anything over 1 million people is built almost entirely on piles of garbage.
Yeah, Lakeshore Drive, which is our signature drive along the lake. It's really pretty and all that. You're driving on garbage. That's all of the debris from the Chicago fire pushed into the lake.
Yep.
Awesome.
And there's 104-story tall buildings set on that.
Nothing but garbage, sand, and all sorts of good fucking work ethic.
And ironically, when they built the trade centers, that's how we got Battery Park, because of all the soil that got displaced. We had enough that we actually were able to add more onto Manhattan Island.
Yeah, they just drive the pylons into the ocean and dump the fill in.
Fuck, Hong Kong had a goddamn project. This has got to be like 20 years ago now, to build an entire airport. Like, they built an island offshore, just fucking trucked sand out there for like 2 years, and then built an airport on it.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
They've been doing over in China?
Not lately, no.
Are they still doing the giant cities and stuff that they're trying to fill people into, or did they finally move on to that Hollywood project that they were doing?
Yeah, it's they got. I think there's something like 28 ghost cities that they have now over there.
Yeah, they want to get. I think their idea was to get about 40 made.
Just to digress just for 1 second here, prototype Steam, $10, franchise pack 30. There you go.
Ah, thank you.
Nice. Well
Fucking
done, G.
awesome.
Well done.
You're a badass. Thank you. All right, fucking sweet. And I could probably afford that now or next paper, depending on how everything pans out after I get my stuff.
But I'm a collector and sometimes a bit of a purist, so I want it on fucking PlayStation 2. And I want the fucking case and the disc and everything. I want all that.
I would. The only thing is I tend, or at least I had this happen before. I only realized it when my phone actually took a crap, and I was like, wow, I really take shit care of my CDs. Like, all my fucking music CDs. And I beat the fuck out of them, and I was like, I am an asshole to my stuff.
No, discs for me, since like I grew up in the electronics business, like home audio, home theater stuff. And
oh, sweet.
When CDs came out, like in CDs and DVDs, it was like, no, you don't fucking put your thumb on the goddamn play surface. I'll fucking murder you. And I stopped lending out
like that, man, and I just flopped horribly.
I stopped lending out video games, DVDs, Blu-rays, anything. No discs get lent out. When I got a disc back from somebody, I fucking called the guy and was screaming at him. Like, I don't know what you were like. The only thing, looking at the disc, the only thing I can picture is that you were eating fucking chicken wings and then grabbing the disc with your grimy fucking hands. There's so many fingerprints on this that I could open up a fucking police file on you. I was so mad. And yeah, no more do I lend out my discs of any kind.
That's why I like Steam. So I don't have to borrow Irving's video games and then wind up getting whacked Canadian style. Fucking hunt me down into Chicago.
What is that? You just get
like sectional
until you're dead? How do you get whacked Canadian style? They sorry you to death?
Probably, man. He'll just pop up my house and go, yeah, hey, Burnside, eh? You fucking buy CDs, eh? You're a fucking dick, eh? And he'll just keep doing that until my head ruptures.
Just make you feel so bad you kill yourself.
I'm not your buddy guy.
I'm not your guy, friend.
Oh, shit, that's funny. Oh, fuck. I got some funny news. I got my fucking eye taken care of, but my dumbass forgot to bring the medicine to work.
So it's not taken care of. Okay.
It will be when I get home in the morning or fucking, morning after. It's just dope. Oh, shit.
Oh, Lord.
Well. Does anyone else got anything fun going on?
Well,
crazy shit.
I heard something interesting.
Oh, dude, tell.
They basically understanding what I was reading earlier when they were talking about 2017. They were someone had said that they should call it the year of Trump, and you know how Twitter is. People went ballistic. I was just thumbing through it really quick and.
But hold on, please. I'm sorry. Just very quickly, because I know most of you guys can't see this because he's only watching it through Discord. Fuck you, Sharge. Fuck you.
Nice.
You're not wrong, though, man. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Oh, funny.
No, that's all I was saying. It was just all the salt on Twitter. It was, again, breathtaking to behold. How the fuck these people can deal with being that miserable? Yeah. Somebody had Christ. I wish I would have saved the link. I just
nice.
didn't really even look. Shit, I should have looked at it. Somebody had just sent it to me, and I glanced at it. Fuck.
Did you see the one about some woman on Twitter was like, "Oh, I feel bad for saying Merry Christmas because of Donald Trump," and it's like, "Oh, shut up, woman."
No,
Yeah.
even people who say Merry Christmas fucking say, "Oh, Donald Trump says Merry Christmas, therefore it's fucking evil." Like what? Like that Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Yeah, it's literal
Yeah.
fucking newspeak, man. It's bullshit. You know, they're like, you know, must have newspeak like 1984. No, everything Trump say bad, so me not say same thing because me a good communist. No, me obey.
It's like at this point, what is Trump not quote unquote responsible for or whatever? It's like just get over it. Just go live your life.
Yeah, like
I've just actually been I've been enjoying all the repercussions. Like my two nephews, I can't stand either of the little bastards. They actually got into a knife fight on Christmas over this shit.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
I mean, did you throw the knives into like the kumite for them kind of thing, or?
No, my sister called up and she's like, then they're fighting and one of them pulled the knife out of the sharpening board and the other one's over by the silverware drawer. What do? I said, get the camera.
yeah, but that's just fucking Sicilian Christmas.
True that. True. But no, there was that, and then I
knives.
took my girl to her family's house.
And four corners laughing at me.
I took my wife to her family's house, and I didn't go in the Democrats. I'm not sitting with them for Christmas. I'm sorry. We're not gonna.
No, I don't blame you, man. I wouldn't want to deal with that shit.
What, you didn't
Yeah.
want to eat a cold turkey?
Yeah, right. Oh, and the worst part is too, they're all grease balls. They're all grease balls. So literally, picture like Real Housewives of New Jersey, like the husbands and the wives. It's just that's basically who I was going to break bread with on Christmas Eve.
I
And
love the way you phrase that.
Thank God that I didn't wind up going there. They turned into a brawl again over there. Like they started arguing about the Republican tax plan. It's great.
I can't believe I'm going to get more money. Can you believe this?
Great.
Sweetheart, we're going to get more money at the end of the year. Can you fucking believe this shit? This is fucking ridiculous. How dare
Damn
we make
capitalists.
80% of taxpayers are getting a break. This is blasphemy.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know what I love? I've had a lot of these Democrats. They've been saying to me, they're like, and especially folks from out of state, they've been saying, they're like, well, you know, look at your taxes now. They're going to go up in New York. You know, what do you have to say about your president now? And I used to look at them and I say, are you stupid? Have anything to do with that? That's my governor. That's fucking me in the ass, not Washington. This is just proving now how crooked Albany is. I said, this, as far as I'm concerned, I said I can take it on the chin for the next year or two till we vote these bastards out.
And people just,
You know?
Sorry, I'm
people
just
want, like,
clearing.
people just want to comment on these things. And it's like, do you even know how this whole system works? Do you know, like, these people are I don't know. It's not like Trump just came down one day and just said, okay, so you guys are paying more, you guys are paying less, and whatever, go from here. It's like, no.
It's not even Trump's tax plan. Like, it's so far removed from what he actually proposed. It's insane.
Yeah. And it's still better than anything we've ever gotten before, which that's got to show you, Christ. Can you imagine if they would have given that man full reign?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
dude,
is
it's
it like?
amazing.
The average person is going to get something like $2,000 break on their tax,
Yeah.
and some people,
Yeah,
middle class
estimates.
families, are getting $2,600, $2,800. I've heard. It almost sounds ridiculous, the numbers I've heard.
Yeah.
And I'm not super familiar with it. I haven't had time to like research it. I need you.
Your taxes are cut in half if you're married. You get like $2,000 for every kid you have
I'll put it to you this way.
on top of the normal tax break. So you get so your average person, if like they have like a family of four or whatever, they'll get their, you know, the working guy or whatever, he'll make like, you know, a couple grand off in his federal taxes. And then if he's married, the taxes that he would have had to pay would be halved. So he'd be technically making more at the end of the year. It just would be getting taken out. Plus he'd get another $4,000 for his two kids.
Fuck. But
Yeah,
that's not a tax break. That's like a tax benefit or something else, right?
We call it a tax credit. Yeah.
That tax credit. Yeah. Okay.
Which
Yeah,
is why I
it's
see
a family-oriented
sometimes
tax plan.
like white trash with like the 10 kids.
You see, the problem is that we've had a lot, like, because I'm an injured New York State employee. You know, I worked for the New York State since I started working for them, I think, in 1996. Got injured in 2008. But so I worked for them for the better part of at least about 12 years. To them, one of the things to give you an idea, like if you have a New York State vehicle and they're going to change a spark plug, they change all of them. They change the cap, the wire, and the rotors too while they're at it. That's how they do things. There's a lot of penny wise, pound foolish going on, and there's a lot of it's a glut basically. Like I could sit here, I'm actually going to get myself like aggravated thinking about like how they waste our money. But to give you an idea, like I had somebody like he came out and visited me about a week or two ago, and we had a little bit of snow. And he said he's seen the plows driving down the street, and he's like, "Why aren't the blades dropped yet?" If they find out that you dropped the blades before 11 p.m., they send you home for the night, because at 11:01 is when overtime kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, hold on.
It's little things like that.
You're talking about a glut, but you're talking about a dollar glut, that there's actually too much money, and if they don't spend it, their budget's going to get cut.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah,
if
like
you have a surplus at the end of the year, that's how much they will cut your budget next year. So you have to actually run over every year to make sure you get those funds.
Yeah, we have that same trouble with a few different, probably more than a few, but I know in particular from native schools up here, because I got a friend who's a teacher, taught on reserves for the past like 10 years.
And let me guess, their budget goes up by 5 to 7% every year, but the kids don't get any smarter. They're not getting any better quality of education or materials.
Yeah, and they've got to find ways to spend all the excess money they have that they haven't spent on the kids or education, because they have it in the budget. Because the kids are fucking assholes. Like, yeah, but no, sorry, I'm just, I know that feel.
Personally, I can't myself comprehend how they get away with it. And that's part of the reason I voted for the man, because, like, literally, the shit that they would do, it was so naked and so blatant. Would say to me, they're like, "How come you hate the Democrats so much?" And I look at them. I worked for them for 12 fucking years. You gotta understand that. My boss's boss's boss. The son of a bitch used to snap his fingers at me and call me boy when he wanted shit moved. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Fucking.
You know? Yeah. You know, but never mind the fact that he hurt my poor little feelings. It's not even that. What it comes down to is just, you know, they're ripping me off. That is actually what I'm concerned about. I could give a fuck less what Chuck Schumer thinks about me. The man looks like a foot. But the thing of it is, you know, they're sitting there, they're robbing the public, they're stealing from us blind. Fucking A right, I voted for the man. I'll vote for him again, 2020. Bet your ass. I'm sick of this shit. You know? Part of my thing is this, Irv. Irv, I'm thinking of you and you too, Memphis, because we fix America, we can fix Canada. Seriously, we got to get... What you got to do, this is what you got to do. You got to get a flatbed. You got to fill it with cans of moose. And you got to drive it down the highway at whatever, like, 20 miles per hour, like, equates out into kilometers, and get that son of a bitch to start chasing it. And don't stop till you get to the Pacific.
Dude, you can move down here for free now. Just move to California.
Oh,
Sanctuary City.
That's so much worse than here. California is worse than here. Who's going to argue that? Go ahead, Americans.
California is worse than
Speak of California.
It's still in America, so I mean, it
Northern
wins by default.
It's just fine.
It's still illegal to give people AIDS on purpose in Canada.
Yeah, that's true. But your
Like,
taxes
for
suck,
now.
so.
Yeah,
The
that's
sad thing is, I think that we're about a year away from that actually being a tax deduction in California.
Wait, getting AIDS or giving someone AIDS on purpose and then you get a tax break?
So donate.
I've been really busy. I infected at least 6 people this week. Oh, okay, cool. You can write that off.
Did you document your mileage?
And I feel bad for the people that live there. I really do, because I can't say anything bad about them because I'm a New Yorker. Everyone says bad shit about us. And I know for a fact, I'm surrounded by scumbags, but I'm not one. So I sure as fucking going to sit there and say, fuck the Californians. My heart goes out to them, if anything.
It's just like you almost feel bad for them.
Okay.
I do feel bad for them.
I want to help you, but I don't know how.
Here's something that I think is different between California and Canada. In Canada, I feel a lot of people have been duped. Something like 60% almost 65, 67% of people have been polled saying that they would prefer a leader more like Donald Trump than Justin Trudeau. And that was after, obviously, we elected the son of a bitch. And like, basically this man got elected on the promise of legalized weed, and now it's going to be like a fucking government monopoly. The rollout's going to be fucking horrific. I think the problem in California is actually the people, where the problem in Canada isn't the people, it's the administration.
But you do have to admit, he did have some great words. Just remember, if you kill your enemies, they win.
That's exactly why I told Charge d'Affaires to fuck off in the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh man. Oh. I seen him doing that speech, the diversity is our strength speech, and I could not. Wow, just a cringe, for lack of a better term.
Well, become a terrorist, move to Canada and get your 10 mil.
Fuck, move to Canada, then go to Syria, become a terrorist, then come back and get your 10 mil.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, is that Mentis Tree's voice that I hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
Oh, hello. I'm playing Ark. I don't know who's in this. I don't even know. Are we live?
Yes.
Oh.
Fuck.
Nigga, please. I'm playing a game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh man,
Your boy Justin, says Cryptic. I'm pretty sure that's a Bearing reference, right? Is that why I said it in that voice? Cryptic?
I believe so.
If anything, what you guys in Canada are suffering through, I'm hoping it brings our countries closer together. Seriously.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you mentioned Jordan Peterson. There's that Lindsay Shepherd chick from
Jordan
Wilfred
Peterson
Laurier.
for president.
Fuck yeah.
Seriously.
Right. And like you guys might be familiar with the Lindsay Shepherd crap that they fucking tried to steamroller and shit, and she recorded them. Yeah, that stuff like that's happening here, and that's the popular opinion. That's just we're too fucking nice to revolt, so we're actually going to sit back and live out the next 2 years and do it with votes, right?
Yeah, it's not the popular opinion. It's the loudest voice right now.
Yeah.
I meant that like the Lindsay Shepherds and the Jordan Petersons are the popular opinion. Right?
Oh yeah,
but,
definitely.
But we're too nice to fucking slap people in the face with it, right?
And what really bothers me is how many people have done that to before Lindsay Shepherd that never got recorded, that never got busted. It's got to be in the hundreds, and that's just pathetic.
I actually thank God for Lindsay Shepherd for shedding light on that. But two, it's going to sound a little sadistic. I put that recording on now whenever I hit the heavy bag.
Oh, my man. Oh, yeah, that's such a great idea. I was so fucking mad when I was listening to it.
Yeah, I listen to that now all the time when I work the bag. Every time that asshole says problematic, I write cross the bag.
Oh, that word, man. That word. The word problematic and the word racialized just fucking drive me
appropriating.
I hate all this political correctness shit. It's really destroyed everything that we could possibly enjoy because people want to make us feel guilty for no fucking reason because they like to hold power over people even though they cannot use it responsibly or at all.
It's not that they like. It's 100% their goal.
Hey,
we've all
long.
Hey guys.
Hey, Weeps.
Holy
going?
shit! Whoa, let me go and leap over here so that I can give
Is
you
that a
some
girl's voice on the internet? What is
Yeah.
this?
There's no girls on the internet. She's got a 40-foot schlong tucked in there.
Hey guys, I want to get your input on something.
All right.
I was just listening to the Warski stream because
You weren't listening to us? Ugh.
No,
Oh,
sorry.
God.
Nobody listens.
Well, because
You mean new SS officer Andrew von Worski?
The one that happened this evening, yeah?
yeah, the one that happened this evening, and very near the end of it, Destiny comes on, right?
Oh boy.
And Destiny and JF are hashing it out. And I knew this was coming because Destiny had said something about it earlier on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, no, this is totally messed up. And it was with regards to JF's case, you know, the one where he had a woman that he was in a romantic relationship with for like a few weeks or whatever, and they were moving in together, and then her parents took her away because apparently she was found mentally incapable of consenting and guardianship of her own. I actually read the case. I read their court case, and from what I was reading, it does sound like she was mentally incapable. She was actually, the prognosis by a doctor was that she was incapable of consenting to such a relationship, that she had very basic mental capacity to actually understand and to actually comprehend what it is she was getting into. And she had, from what the doctor said, apparently an 11-year-old's mind.
Okay.
Which speaks to her ability.
Let me
Holy
ask you,
Right?
was she an Anglican?
A what?
English speaker, native? Because what's
I think
his name?
so.
JF is a bit Frenchy, and maybe he would not be able to tell by inflection and different
True.
things whether or not she is retarded.
Well, yeah, no, but that's not my point of contention with this.
I'm just saying it's not his fault, maybe.
So yeah, okay. I'll give him that, maybe, sure. But that's not my point of contention. So during the stream, and he's talking with JF about this. I didn't catch the whole part of it. I came in halfway through when he was talking about her mental capability to actually consent to a relationship with this man, to move in with him, and to be like host her own guardianship over herself. And JF and Andy Worski, essentially their argument was, well, she's of age. She was 19 at the time. She's of age. She can totally consent to this, despite what an actual doctor had basically diagnosed, or not diagnosed, but given the prognosis for, that she was not mentally sound enough to actually consent to this.
And that is the point that more seriously, that is the point to which I wanna speak. A prognosis is not the same as a diagnosis. You know that, you use both words, obviously. I'm just, without the diagnosis, I can't make that call.
No. She was actually diagnosed with autism. But
yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure if we got him tested, Burnside could be fucking diagnosed with autism.
No, but they determined her to have the mental capacity of an 11-year-old, and I read through the whole thing. It's actually very damning. Regards to this girl. Yes, she's 19. Yes, in any other capacity, she would be able to consent. Was not mentally sound enough to provide that actual consent, and that was my point of contention. And from the perspective of someone who was actually studying psychology, from the perspective of someone who's actually argued against pedophiles on the exact same basis of, well, these children are not mentally sound enough, developed enough to actually consent. It's not just physical, but it's mental too. One who's made these arguments, I see staunch parallels between these two things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do. I'm not, again, I haven't read it, right? If you want to link it to
Yeah,
somebody,
I'll get you a link.
Maybe it gets passed around, like I'll try to get around to it. But
Yeah, well, I'll
Yeah,
take a
if-
look at it, what have you. But from the sound of it, it seems like they just wanted something cheap and easy. It's like, oh, hearsay, none such. Age of consent. Bend it over and take it.
Which
Yeah, like
option do I choose that gets Destiny locked up for being a pedophile?
I don't have any love for Destiny, but like my whole point is like, yeah, no, mental retards of that capacity cannot consent to sex, and no amount of what they're of age and they should be, and all the libertarian ideas in the world are not going to make that go away. That uncomfortable truth of some people who are of age don't have the mental capacity, and it's nothing against these people necessarily. It's just they can't.
No,
give
no.
cognizant
I know what you mean. I mean,
As a
and
libertarian,
I just
I would have to say that I don't
Yeah.
think that anybody else I know that identifies as a libertarian would think that mentally retarded people can consent to people who are of a sound mind.
Yeah, if they've got some type of handicap to that degree, yeah, I don't see anything outside of "would you like a ham sandwich" of being something that they could consent to.
and
Let's take it a step further, guys. Two 20-year-old developmentally disabled people, can they consent to each other?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, the case could be made that Destiny himself is also retarded. So
Well, he's clearly retarded.
Damn.
I need to jump in. Burns,
I
swear to God,
that guy debate, he's really dumb.
Burnside, you weren't a target of any kind. You are literally the first person on my left to right. What
I
I'm
know.
looking at here. Okay.
I'm not silent because of that. I'm just letting everyone talk, man. Don't need to worry. I'm not gonna go blow up like I did last time when I got all hung over.
I just want to know how far to the left on your screen am I?
You're the third. I
Okay.
got Burnside, G, and you.
All right. Well, I've got to get a counter insult in case you work your way down to me. So.
I should do that. I should stick to a rotation. Just pick them off as I go.
Hey, go for it. It works, man. I think it's funny. And you know what? I would love.
I've actually dealt with
autist because that'd be funny.
I actually dealt with a real life situation like this. Not myself personally, but somebody that. No, I
Here, I'm putting the actual court documents in the side chat. It's in the group chat, guys. If you want to look at.
Cool. Thank you so much.
I have an attorney at work with me, so I'm privy to the conversations that come in.
Okay.
It was a 24-year-old female, 40-year-old male. The parents had custody. She was considered to be approximately a 14-year-old mentally.
That's legal in Canada.
In the end, the court actually gave custody to the boyfriend.
What?
Because she was living on her own without parental support for a certain period. Maybe 2-3 years. She was, regardless of where she was mentally, they deemed her fit to run her own life. But because she couldn't drive and all that, there was a custody situation. They granted custody to the boyfriend. They eventually got married. That's a really, really odd situation. I know.
Yeah, no, actually, that makes perfect sense because when you get emancipated from your parents, even if you are not of age, you have to have there are certain qualifications that you have to meet in order to do that, and one of those is you have to be able to support yourself. So
there's
can't remember the other ones, but I looked into this as a kid just because why not? But there are stipulations. There are I was 14
my parents too. Don't worry about it. Yeah, there has to
okay, so if you look at it, 45, there's an entire write-up from the physician about mental health and stuff. It's very concise.
Man,
Curious, where did this? What state did this go down in?
Texas.
Okay, before we get into that though, I just want to say,
well, that's a different country altogether.
We've got someone in the chat who's basically on your side. Says anybody touch my sister, I will beat his ass to death. She can't consent and she's 40. And yeah, I know cases like that, obviously,
Yeah.
right? And I mean,
Right.
but yeah, like I haven't looked through this entire thing. I'm just sort of half browsing it while we're chatting here. And I'm not super familiar with Texas law, US law. So I'll have to, it's going to be a lot of work.
56 pages. Damn.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I wrote in the side chat the actual the litigation that actually matters, because most of it is just going through court proceedings and motions and stuff. You get to page like 46, and it goes through the entire doctor's notes with regards to the patient.
Okay.
Wait, where'd you drop this at?
It's in the group chat.
Hangout
this
chat.
Hangout is.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at Discord.
No, I mean, obviously, if someone is not mentally capable of, say, taking care of themselves, right? Like, they can't consent to sex. That's the whole argument with pedophilia, right? Is that we don't let fucking children make their own decision. And if some people don't ever actually mature into an adult-minded person, we don't let them make their own decisions either. That's an extension of the same thing.
Exactly.
Right? We take care of those people because guess what? That happens to 1 in 1,500 people, give or take. So because we all understand that that person took one for the fucking team, we take care of them now. Right? It could have happened to any one of us, and it didn't. It happened to them. So that person saved me by being the 1 in 1,500, and I get to be 1499, not 1488. Nobody fucking construe that shit.
Oh, I like that. That's a good reference.
But you know what I mean? That we look out for them, we take care of them, and we should, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, it just pissed me off, because Andy gets the whole pedophile debate, right? He gets it, but he's not equating it to
a child-minded adult.
The developmental argument.
Yeah.
He understands it from the perspective of a child, but from the perspective of someone who's not necessarily a child, but like mentally technically is.
They're construing the chronological with the physiological, and they don't match.
Exactly. It's the reason we have age of consent laws isn't because at some magical age you suddenly become capable of consenting altogether. No, it's because of the process of development.
Yeah.
That's the whole apex of this argument. You take that away, you might as well just let the pedophiles have their own way, because that's essentially what you've just deconstructed.
On the other hand, how many people in this stream were still virgins when they were 15?
I was
16?
Was not.
Same.
15. Was not a
I was a virgin until I was 17.
Oh, that's actually kind of late.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
It's
for
not
me, it
really
was,
late. Like, I mean, it's 14 to 17 is sort of the age that it happens for most people.
It was 19 for me. Had to wait till I got a car.
Fuck, Scoob.
That's normally how it is. Man.
That's
14 for me.
Than I ever would have thought for you, man. I would have thought it's like 12. I was already fucking.
Bro, I got 5 older sisters. You know what that's like?
I just got one, but she's hell.
I bring home a girl, and one of my sisters will grab her at the door. So you're the little slut that's trying to fuck my brother,
huh? Damn.
Kind of sucked me in Catholic, but what are you gonna do?
No, but
not.
Like, I mean, that sexual experience is a part of the growth and development, right? And it has to happen at the right time. And if some people never reach that right time mentally, then yeah, that's what. But again, it's also very difficult to pinpoint, I think. So I'll have to listen to the stream, because I was listening to some of it. I did not hear any of this at the end. But
I'm probably the only person that doesn't listen to any of these people, like Andy Worski and like
Andy Worski's from T-Dot, motherfucker.
I don't listen to E-celebs. Pseudo-intellectuals is what I like to call them.
Like all of these like big YouTube people and stuff. Like I occasionally listen to Sargon stuff, and then I eventually got bored of it, because it's like, yeah, he's just talking about more stupid people and straw manning and whatever. And I heard of Andy.
This book is my opinion now, because it sounded professional and I didn't know what I was talking about, so I just believed this one book that I happened to pick up.
Andy Worski's a big YouTuber?
No.
Well, okay, the only reason he's got so much notoriety is because and I hate to say this, but he's kind of, at this point, accumulating popularity from some of the big hitters that he does have on his streams.
Oh, I'll be honest. I first started watching him as a novelty because I thought him and Chris were like a gay learning disabled couple. And not saying I'm trying to be mean. That's what I was. I would stay. I tell my wife, I'm like, babe, you gotta come look at this. I said, it's these two gay retarded guys. They got their own show.
Oh my
And she
God.
comes in.
Well, you're not wrong. What's the joke?
Hashtag not gay, just retarded.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not saying retarded like I'm trying to rip on. I mean, I really thought that they were both learning disabled of some caliber, like that they were on like an outpatient thing and they met.
Really?
That, like going through my head. Yeah, I'd only watched this.
Oh, God.
I watched it a few times, and they're sitting there next to each other, and they both have the same last name. I'm looking at them. Okay, they're not brothers.
This
No, but they are brothers, but like in the way that black people mean it.
Oh,
All right, but then
We
the
have
two of them
Worski
start.
1 and then Asian Wannabe Worski 2.
All right, well, all I know is they both have the last name Worski, and then they're talking about cocks, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're a gay couple. All right, they're a cool gay couple. Rock
Makes sense.
on, whatever. When I went on with my day, that was it, Not the first gay couple I ever seen. Christ, I live in New York.
Nice.
But,
I came across them just like in the whole anti-SJW crap and thought the guy's kind of funny, right? And also then I found out he's Canadian. He's from the same fucking city I am. So I stuck with him for a bit. And actually, I actually think that he's actually trying to be a little bit more serious now, and I kind of appreciate it. And like, yeah, you can say what you want about fucking drama and shit. If you watch the stream,
I had enough drama.
maybe
I just got done with the last thing I wound up getting myself into. That was enough drama for 5 years.
Maybe this guy is capitalizing on the shit that's blowing up on YouTube, but YouTube is his job now, and he's not being like dramatic. He's actually the voice of reason in his own streams for the most part, except for this thing, Weebs. Which, if this is correct, and I'm gonna have to fucking read that and fucking watch the last bit of that. But for the most part, he seems to be pretty level-headed about it, and I've been liking what I've been seeing. So this is very surprising to me, and yeah, I'll definitely take a look.
You the link to the stream too, because I think it's worth a look at. I actually have half a mind to like make an entire video on this because I feel that strongly about it. But yeah, no, it's because no disrespect to Andy, I feel like he's doing a fantastic thing. With just the exception of this stream because I've been watching it, and a few of the other ones, the most recent ones actually. To be honest,
how long
he's been
did the
talking
stream go?
It's still going.
It's still going.
Going
That's
on
like
4
fucking
hours.
6 hours.
Yeah, no, they started streaming like 4 hours ago. But okay, so with regards to these recent streams and stuff, the one point of contention that I have no issue with him talking to both sides, so long as he talks to them at the same time. And that hasn't always been the case. He's kind of called people out on stream and not had them on there to, kind of defend themselves. Or he's let JF do it. Like, literally today, right after Destiny left, JF was going off about how, and there's actually, there's a friggin' thing on Twitter that I can link you to too, a sound clip, a soundbite, but JF was going off about what he thinks that Destiny thought and claims about Destiny and his positions and stuff. And Destiny was not there to defend himself. That pissed me the fuck off because that is not acceptable. If you want to hold, debates with people, if you want to hear both sides of the argument, both sides have to be there to defend themselves. You can't just have one person and allow them to shit talk someone while they're not there. That's bullshit.
I understand the value of it, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just mad and I want to fucking shit on people. I don't want to fucking argue with them. I want them to be elsewhere and I want to be fucking mad at them, right? So like they're far bigger than I am, right? So yeah, they've got thousands of people watching at one time. Guy's got hundreds of thousands of subs. I guess in a way you could say that he owes them the chance to defend themselves, but like they're still just people. Like, I mean, fuck, there's no YouTuber that's more fucking popular in the world than a fucking mediocre Survivor contestant.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just some dude with a fucking webcam. You know, like that guy's got 260,000 subs or so. He's no different than me, except for 260,000 subs, right? Like it's just screaming into a fucking camera. You're allowed to do that, you know.
Yeah, I get that. It's just on stream when you're trying to have these debates with people and you're trying to establish like a serious kind of aura of profession, right? Which has been trying to do and gear himself towards. Let someone do that. It's your responsibility. It's your channel. That's something. It's a learning experience, to be honest. Because I'm gonna definitely chew him out, but it's something that shouldn't be. If you're trying to be professional about it.
Okay, that I'll give you. That'll definitely give you. That it shouldn't be the norm if you want to be professional. Absolutely, right? That you need to give people the chance to say their piece against the shit, like, because occasionally I just fucking get mad and shit talk people, right? Why not?
Yeah, no, I totally understand it if you want to do it like whatever, private, in chat, whatever, when you're not trying to do something serious.
I do it
like
fucking
this.
live when I'm trying to be fucking professional. But again, I've got what 164 subs on YouTube. It's not the same degree, and once you hit a certain level, yeah, maybe you do owe somebody something.
Yeah, here, hang on.
Yeah.
Let me find the actual soundbite because I know where it is.
Go for it.
Here it is. Okay, so here's
Oh,
the
this should be okay.
soundbite. Play it. Totally go ahead.
Did I follow him on Twitter too? I do like this guy. Is this?
I do too. I don't want to see Andy fall to that kind of a trap.
Yeah, no, I'd be disappointed.
That's the one with the 40-foot trap. That vehicle on accident when arousal occurs.
Oops.
The irony, it strikes fiercely.
It strikes hot.
So, if I remember correctly, Density, that's that shipball
Destiny,
that went
that's
after
the-
JonTron, right?
No, density works best.
No, we're talking about Destiny, the midget streamer who does gaming stuff and also is
Yeah,
super
Density.
mega like a what's the word I'm looking for? An asshole.
He loves
Can you
the
do like a
dog.
hit piece on that kid, what's his name, JonTron, right?
I think so.
He
Maybe?
went after,
That was
he
a
went
while
after
ago.
him, if I remember.
Yeah, him and JonTron got into a debate and whatever, and Sargon did a thing on it, and it's like all of you are just violently masturbating on each other.
Oh yeah, no, Destiny's a prick. Don't get me wrong. No love there, but like,
But in this case, he might be right.
well, to a certain degree. Part of the debate, as what I've been told, is that Destiny was making a moral argument with regards to whether or not a 19-year-old can consent to a relationship to have a child with a 32-year-old man, 13 years her senior, if that would ruin her life or whatever. And I'm like, okay, mental capabilities aside, that's none of our business. It is what it is. She can do whatever she wants so long as she is mentally sound. I don't give a fuck. But the issue was for me that she wasn't, and that was something that was brought up by Andy as being, perfectly okay, which pissed me the fuck off.
Okay, so this dirty bastard took advantage of a learning disabled girl.
Essentially. Actually, if you want to read the
Basically,
case,
okay.
he was actually he was in a marriage at the time, not pursuing a divorce, pursuing custody of his other child, with the woman at the same time that he was trying to get guardianship of his, and the way that he phrased it was fiance. But you can't be
Wow,
fiance
this
to
guy
someone
really
when
went.
you are married.
I feel like my soul just died a little bit
So
from hearing that.
he went for the gold medal in the douchebag Olympics. I got it.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I
But,
he was going after
See,
something
as far as
fucking easy, man. That's
It's not a fucking joke. The fucking language barrier may make him like immune to recognizing certain syntax errors and things that would alert other Anglophones as opposed to Francophones
the French
that
stereotype
she is
was
in
like,
fact
you
a
know.
retard.
Okay, in JF's defense, I will say he and his ex-wife, or wife currently, because they are still not divorced as far as I know, they were separated, but they were not pursuing a divorce. So that's one thing to be cognizant of. Texas law, and this is also stated within the actual court case that I sent you guys in the group chat. You cannot be, fiancé to someone. I don't know if that's the correct term, but fiance to someone if you are currently in a marriage to someone else. You know, pursuing
Is
divorce
fiancé
proceedings.
a legal term though?
Is fiance
I've heard of that before.
Engaged.
engaged? Okay, there we go. Well, I couldn't fucking figure out what it was.
Is that like a legal
I
thing?
know what you mean, man.
Well, his entire argument for custody of the woman was that, oh, she is my fiance. But the judge was like,
Just
no,
that
you
for-
can't be engaged while you are according to Texas law.
No, see, and I don't know. Like, I don't know that that's actually a fucking legal term. You're married or you're not under the law, right? Like, no. Am I? Are things weird in Texas?
Well,
Well,
no.
Texas
I know
is
there's weird shit
but-
in Texas, yeah, but fuck.
They've got oversized steaks and they've got those stupid reds running all over the place. They haven't had the decency to put down, like buffaloes.
Fuck.
Well, I hate saying it like this, and it's going to come back to bite me in the ass, but Texas, New York, and California, the reason our laws are so odd is we have a very, very, very high Catholic population and has had a very heavy effect over the laws over the past 2 centuries.
Sure.
That's why a lot of our laws tend to be very pearl clutching.
So-
Okay, but here's my question, though. If you and I aren't yet divorced, are you saying that in New York, I'm not allowed to ask Weibo to marry me?
No, that's adultery.
Oh, nice.
For
Okay, so actually, here's the thing. The basis under which he, okay, so JF, his argument was for custody of this woman he was trying to, you know, be engaged to and to impregnate in the 3 weeks that they were together, living together. His entire argument was, oh, we're engaged. We are to be married as soon as I finish the divorce proceedings or whatever. The judge's whole perspective was, oh, well, if you haven't even begun divorce proceedings, how can you say that you are engaged to this other person? Because the judge doesn't know the actual quality of the lifestyles that these people are living or the relationships that they're living. He just knows the facts, and the facts are divorce proceedings were not filed. But
Yeah,
this
but
man is claiming to
separation
be-
is a legal term, right?
Yeah, it is, but there has to be some sort of
Legal, but it's not actual divorce. It's like
but doesn't it provide some sort of leeway on that
I don't
shit?
think so.
You'd
No,
think
okay,
so,
hold
but
on.
it is Texas.
Scooby and I are married, all right? And we get legally separated,
Mhm.
all right? And then Scooby decides to take up a relationship with Weibo. I, as the wife, can no longer claim infidelity and spoil prenups, right? Because we're legally separated, no?
That would depend on a few factors. Because how do you prove that you're legally separated? For one,
That's what I mean. Isn't that a legal thing that we can legally get separated, have lawyers and a judge fucking stamp a fucking piece of paper that says we are separated? So even though we're not technically divorced, anything that happens now, you can't claim infidelity.
Well, I mean, I wonder if it comes down to something simple, like as long as you have you live in 2 valid, separate, like, billing addresses.
so
Shit.
with regards to legal separation, I just looked it up. Legal separation is a court order that mandates the rights and duties of a couple while they are still married but living apart. So I'm not sure if that's. Hang on, I can,
That's
What
very
does that
vague,
mean?
but it sounds to me like that basically the couples living apart, or the married couple living apart, is no longer fucking bound by a marriage contract.
It is in New York because my sister's going through it right now and brought up on adultery charges.
okay, so in order to actually be legally separate, you'd have to file that paper too. Oh boy, isn't just life in the States so much fun?
I like it.
America.
Well, the reason why you'd have to file paperwork is because you'd have to dispute who gets what property rights, child custody, child visitation. It's a big
all that
messy issue.
complicated, ultra lawyerly Hebrew stuff.
Yeah, which is why
This
it's
is
better
exactly
to have it
why.
in writing.
This is exactly why my dad was pro-gay marriage, even though he was very old school. He was like, if they want to be as miserable as the rest of us, let them.
Yeah,
My
I
father
second
used to
that,
say the same thing, man.
I say the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
man.
stance on it.
Good luck, gays.
Yeah,
it's the
marriage
shit
is a
show,
real
man.
thing,
Fuck.
man.
Holy shit.
As far as I'm concerned,
Oh, yeah.
it's America. You have the right. You can marry a stuffed animal, but we're not changing the biology books. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm all good with that. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, shit, you probably have a bit of a animal.
You want to spend $10,000-$20,000, get a life-size porcelain doll, and tell people that's your wife, your husband, whatever. Fine. I don't give a fuck. Move to Nevada. It's legal there. My whole thing is this: we're not changing the biology books. That's all.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would never expect anyone to change biology.
Weebo, it's nice to see you. I love streaming with you, but fuck, I need another goddamn drink. Christ, you're driving me to drink.
Hey, go get a.
I'm so sorry. And my boyfriend says the exact same thing, to be honest. So you're not alone.
I'd be drinking.
That shows
too,
you doing
but
right
I'm
thing.
Looking for an excuse.
Any
Yeah,
excuse.
seriously.
man. I mean, shit. Hey, Irv, make sure you
yeah,
have
no,
a
I
shot
cause
for me, man. I can't drink. I'm at work.
I wish I could drink. Honestly, tonight is like that type of a night.
Hey,
Yeah, you don't want to drink. I gave it up years ago. You're better off.
I'm
Come
sure,
on.
I'm sure you're put off the French Canadians at this point, but this is called sortilège.
I am
Oh.
French Canadian.
Fuck yeah. Way to go, girl.
Holy shit.
You put
You're all
that shit in the
fucking
freezer, it pours like fucking syrup, and it tastes no different.
Oh boy.
It is fucking dangerous. Oh yeah, it's basically just whiskey.
Oh, I did mean to ask you. That one super duper liquor store place you go to. Did you find out if they had any Spanish stuff from Catalonia as far as wines and booze and stuff?
Dude, I got 1.5 feet of snow today in Toronto, and yeah, I didn't get out of the house, so I'm just hitting my freezer reserve.
Burnside, you live in Chicago. Just call fucking Binny's and ask him.
No, he wants me to try it, I think.
Yeah, I want his opinion
We'll
on
ship
it.
it to Irving. It's not a problem.
That's too much. I couldn't ask that, you guys.
Please.
Wait, can we legally ship alcohol? I thought we can't do that in Illinois.
You have to pay the tariff. I have to pay the tariff here.
I don't want to talk about it.
Sounds like
I'm still not of age. I can't buy my own fucking alcohol. Can you believe that? That's bullshit.
Wait, how old are you?
well,
That sucks.
19.
Oh yeah. See, if you come back to Canada, you can get all the alcohol you want.
Are you
Yeah, I was
trying
gonna
to
say-
lure me like a predator?
Except the legal age of consent in Canada is 14, if you remember. So no.
Oh shit, what up?
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh. The only question
Come and sit.
can you endure the 40 feet, man? Can you endure that?
Yeah, you gonna take it up the ass or do you want to take it in the mouth? How you want it?
40 feet.
Go both
Jeez.
All 40.
Just 40. No, just the tip, honey. Just the tip.
Just the tip? That's about 5 feet long.
Everybody likes butt stuff.
Oh
Well,
my
40 feet. That's
Without
in the mouth to heart.
Subtext. Oh my god.
No. That's overtext.
Oh boy.
God, that's
What happened?
Hello, how are you?
God, that's good. God, your timing, dude. That's funny. Holy fuck. Oh shit. Weebs, you should have been here earlier, since fucking Xena was around.
I'm so sorry. I was getting triggered in my room by myself. Yeah, I should have been here.
I kind of figured. I mean, he kind of came in and was like, hey, I have this McTriggerly shit that I have to ask you dudes about.
Well, I
Because
thought,
it's-
why not ask a whole bunch of dudes on a stream that I kind of know, that I stream with pretty much every Saturday when I get the chance, who all think that I have a 40-foot schlong.
Watchers, douchebags.
Yeah, no. I don't mind douchebags. You're my bread and butter.
I definitely agree with you, Weebo. It's not right now. So, again, this density asshole, he basically took advantage of this girl. So, you're right. It just confirms again that this guy is a tool. So,
Is it just
Kinda
when
wish
you're Scooby roboting?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been all night.
God damn it.
Oh,
All right, hold
poor
on.
Scooby.
I know. I got it.
I think I caught half of that.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll eventually get you my laptop, my old one, so that you don't have to deal with roboting. Poor bastard.
Well, not here, but yeah, good gesture.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of hijacked this stream when I came in.
You know what? No, not at all. Not at all. You brought us a good topic, and
Yeah.
I actually feel like I was hijacking it for a little bit.
Oh,
No, it's all good, man. I mean, I think we all pretty much have the same, train of thought. If a person's so handicapped that they can't consent, don't fornicate them. The same thing as the last thing we talked about on Chaos was, some dude like doped out his little sister and raped the shit out of her. It's like, yeah, that's some shitbaggery. This dude should be taken to Chicago and shot in the testicles so that we can fill the great palpal sack with his nuts. Same thing with the other motherfucker. And Worski's buddy or JF or whomever this bastard's. Yeah, bring him over here, shoot him in the dick, make sure you get both his testicles, and then fill them in a great palpal sack so that, once the winter season is over and the great gun control gods awake, they can feast upon the testicles. It will give them power.
Like, I mean, not to defend someone who's, betting a chick with the mind of an 11-year-old, but if he didn't know because of fucking language barriers, I actually sort of have a bit of sympathy for that. Like, that's like some smoking hot chick from Romania has this thick fucking accent and comes and fucking hits on me, and it's like, oh yeah, you're only 19 and I'm fucking 36. Shit, that's legal. Let's fucking roll. It's not even legal. Like, we're past the 18 here. That's in Canada 14, and I'm not gonna fucking scum that low. Right? And then I find out that I had no idea because of a language barrier that she's fucking retarded. Holy shit. Really? Do I have to go to prison? Do I have to go to prison? Because
no, and I think that the courts would make an exception in that case, which is probably why he didn't actually go to jail for, what occurred and transpired. But to be honest, as far as I can tell, based on what I've seen in the streams, I think he's perfectly aware.
Yeah, that would make a difference. If he knew, then yeah, testicles need to be sacrificed to gun control gods in Chicago. If he didn't know, then well, you're just a dumb bastard. Sorry, buddy.
He was definitely aware of her.
All I know is that I thought that I was just fucking her so good that she was drooling all over herself 24/7. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's happened before, so I had an inclination that might have been what it was.
Have a word for it.
Hey, Porpoise, just make sure that the next time you fornicate her, that you don't want to make her blow you until you choke her to death with your dick.
Yeah, of course. I got that big Seiju dick.
Yeah, as far as the age of consent laws in Canada, for 14, to date someone that age, you can't be 5 years greater than them, or else it's what they call sexual interference. I believe it's still 17 that it's when there's no age barrier.
I counter that with my sexual emergency. Checkmate, Canada.
That wasn't
Canada. But yeah, no, that's a stipulation that exists within the states. They exist in the form of Romeo and Juliet laws. So if you are consent and you have sex with someone who was is within a certain age range, or who was you were in a relationship for a certain amount of time prior to them turning of age, then it's acceptable to have sex with them. You can't really do anything about it, and that was to protect, boys from teenage girls' fathers who didn't want their daughters dating who had and such and such.
That happens. Fathers can be controlling sometimes,
Oh yeah, no, undoubtedly. But
I don't think Destiny's waifu that he bought from some foreign country. So she.
Oh, that's funny.
Wait, Destiny has a foreign bitch?
Isn't what this retarded chick is?
No. We're talking about JF. Destiny was bringing this up on stream about JF.
Oh,
yeah, no, so, Destiny wasn't fucking the retarded chick. It was JF that was doing that.
So Destiny was.
Okay, well, I mean, potato.
Look. Okay. Hold on.
I'm the one with the fake GoFundMe to save his girlfriend from Qatar or some shit.
I thought that was like
What?
Spino or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Man,
it's Spino
I don't follow these fucking people, guys. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even.
I'm really.
I don't even know who the fuck JF is.
I don't even.
JF's the guy that BTFO'd crowd out of fucking YouTube, which I mean is cool. I like that, but don't fuck retarded chicks that you paid for from some other country. That's
like
pretty
that doesn't
degenerate.
detract. It doesn't detract from the arguments. However, it does make me think a little bit less of him as a person. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop listening to his arguments with regards to the science. I can compartmentalize. I'm very good at that.
Nice.
Right. Credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, you shouldn't get credit for this.
But I'm trying to lay it on a timeline of some of my favorite people on the fucking YouTubes.
Well,
So yeah, well, yeah, okay, yeah, you, but you know, you didn't do anything fucking like ridiculous. Kraut goes fucking dark side. Based Mama also goes dark side or goes full fucking retard with the Kilroy shit. I'm
She's
not
got
sure which.
140 IQ, bruh.
140 IQ.
I'm a genius.
it's a burden.
That Ashkenazi 140.
Oh boy.
JF comes out of nowhere and then is fucking basically a child-minded adult. Andy Worski goes race realist, and here we are fucking just going, what?
I'm just watching this and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Omni Destiny is right, and I'm taking his side over Andy Worski's.
What a time to be alive.
What the fuck happened?
What? Why? What? Worski went all 1488?
Borderline.
No, he didn't really. Like, I don't think he's like. I don't think
He's not
fucking
for
Mickey
an
Toy
ethno
level.
state.
Not yet.
Yeah, no, he's not for an ethno state per se. More so, he just believes that race is real, which
You don't start at that
Given
point.
the evidence.
You end at that point.
I mean, do you have eyeballs? I mean, race is real. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. This is why I'm not following this whole debate, because like this whole thing is like the most retarded thing I've ever. It's not real. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not real. My mind has literally been playing tricks on me and me alone, and I must live in some alternate universe away from everybody else because I fucking see it.
Porpoise race is real, and you know that from the fucking surface things that you can see with your fucking eyes. That the fucking average black male is 2 to 3 inches taller than the average white male, and the average black male is 4 to 6 inches taller than the average Asian male. It exists. Of course it exists. You can see it on the outside. There must also be internal factors. You know,
Right.
like why wouldn't there be?
One precludes the other.
Yeah,
Right,
but
yeah. Like this whole fucking neck
He was
down
a
bullshit.
5 foot tall white guy with a 40-foot penis.
I'm sorry. What about my penis?
I said there's exceptions. You're a 5 foot tall white guy with a 40-foot penis. So there's an exception.
But see. Okay, so this is a whole argument based on averages, and sure, we use things based on averages. That's fine and dandy. No one gives a fuck. If we can accept that averages are a thing, sure. The question remains is, what do you do with that information afterwards?
Well,
And I think the point of contention is the argumentation that, oh, let's keep the race pure, answer, which is where the stipulation occurs. At least in my opinion, that's where it happens.
You're not wrong, and I mean the statistics, right? They exist, but that's if you play the statistics, that's the gambler's fallacy, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
That if you want to decide, white people have X average IQ and black people have Y average IQ, and so I only want to hang out with fucking white people because of that average. Well, you're basically allowing the statistic to make the decision for you rather than trust your own judgment on an individual person's ability to display their fucking intelligence to you. You know what I mean?
What about the inconvenient truth of, say, oh, Asians have, on average, higher IQ scores than your, average white person?
But they're too fucking sneaky, right? They're obviously very tricky with their high IQ.
No, it's not even that.
I'm not going to protect you from cryptic now there, Irving.
Listen,
Oh yeah, let's hit it up. I want to see what he said.
if you really want to play that game, there's an anomaly in the U.S. that blows that out of the water. Okay. After Asians, it's a very small amount of people, but they outpace every other group other than Asians, and it's Nigerians.
Nigerians.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, no, like I mean, because
They're the super Negro.
So are you saying that they're the high end of the scale in Africa, or is it a work ethic?
It's a white man's Negro right there.
It's a combination of things, and I don't know why. But yeah, you're absolutely right that a lot of black people I know in Canada, in Toronto, that are, you know, teachers and engineers and fucking IT specialists, they're Nigerian.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. They fucking blow the bell curve on quote unquote race realism.
Yes.
Right. And so what do you do with
realize that this is a great country to live in? I should do everything I can to make it awesome.
I got news for you. You know who American black people hate more than any other group in the world?
Is it Nigerians?
Yeah, it is.
It's Mexicans.
No, it's Nigerians. Trust me.
Oh, that's funny.
I will.
Well, yeah, they call them Akatas all the time. That's why.
I see them at the line in the grocery store, and the American black guy will turn and call the Nigerian, "Hey, brother, this or that." The Nigerian will go, "I'm not your fucking brother. Don't talk to me, asshole."
Yeah, I was going to say it's not that American blacks don't like actual Africans. It's actual Africans hate American blacks.
Yeah. You ever hear what they call them? They call them Akata.
Yes.
Or
Cotton picker.
Here's another thing that I find interesting, and it's with regards to the actual IQ test. Depending on your background, necessarily. Okay, so say we're not talking about two people who come from the same place in America. We're talking about maybe two people that come from a different location in America, or two people who come from a different place on the planet. I mean, if they take the same exact IQ test, depending on who makes that IQ test, who creates that IQ test, they're going to get totally different scores simply because of the nature of the test. And the test is kind of, maybe say it was created by in let's say like the Midwest maybe, and they have different ways of learning things. I mean, like, public education is not universal across the board in the United States, let alone in an individual state. I mean, we have Common Core, we have different methods of teaching people. So the issue here isn't like, are we providing people with the same, you know, the same baseline for which to measure their intelligence? Are we providing them with a test that is accurate in terms of what it is that they have come from, where they should be based on their demographics and their geological location, and what they should know based on that?
And that's actually really interesting, because a lot of people don't know this, that IQ and IQ tests are scaled for exactly that. That if you take a test in, like, say, Canada, it doesn't matter what everybody scores on the test. They will scale it out so that the average is 100. All people everywhere should scale out to 100, because that's how it works. And if you take the test from, say, Canada and the US, and you compare them to, say, Haiti, and you unscale them, the people in Haiti who used to have a 100 compared to the US and Canada
to 70
will have a 67 or something ridiculous. But that's because the test scaled towards Canada and the US will ask you questions based on education and not just like how smart are you. Yeah, cognitive ability. Thank you for that, AJ.
Interesting. I did not know any of that.
Right. Like, if you ask someone in Haiti who's lived on a farm all their life and barely knows how to read and write, what is one astronomical unit? How the fuck are they supposed to answer that? And they're going to fail a lot of those tests. They're going to fail a lot of the questions.
Here's how they answer it. Burn the witch.
Yeah.
Look, does IQ transfer to real life?
Yes.
Yes.
Not
Absolutely.
necessarily.
Absolutely.
Does it
Depends on what it is in real life that it is you are
Does it
analyzing.
really? Because every time I
Productive
see a
member of
car
society.
pulled over on the side of the highway, it's a Mercedes with somebody staring at the engine instead of fixing it.
See, but okay. Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong, right?
I know more 90-point IQ millionaires than I do 140-point IQ millionaires.
but you probably know a whole lot of 115 IQ people that do like 150 to 200,000, and you wouldn't know that they're actually an entire standard deviation above everybody else,
Yeah,
and they make a lot of money.
there's an entire bracket of people with IQs over a certain degree that actually do have social ineptitudes. In essence, they cannot socialize on the same level as other people.
And they
Does
don't
that mean that
function.
they are function as well in society due to the fact that, well, they are so intelligent that they can't necessarily relate to, you know, the average normie layman.
Well,
person.
consider this for a second.
Most mensa members,
I have
they
actually heard something
sit in a circle and
interesting.
jerk each other off instead of actually doing anything with it.
Well, no, it's not they'd rather. It's that they can't. That
No,
some
I didn't
people
say
are-
they're rather. I said that's what they do.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Sorry,
a choice.
my bad.
They don't have the social interaction skills to be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and that's because most of the population is they look at them the same way that the average person looks at like chimpanzees.
Understood,
Yeah.
but this is the world we have to work in. So if you want to succeed, you have to learn to deal with the 67s.
Yep, and you can be so smart that you're actually crushed by it, though.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
That it
And
makes
here's-
it very
here's the
difficult.
When we're studying animals and their intelligence, what we're studying is not necessarily their ability to perform on an IQ test. That would be ridiculous if we gave a mouse a pen and paper and expected him to get do a good performance on an IQ test. What we do
IQ
with
is a
animals
human phenomenon. Yeah.
is specifically we send them through mazes and see how long it takes them with every go to actually learn the maze or to figure out how fast it is that they get to that specific reward. It's not based on how smart it is that they are at the apex, but how capable of learning that they are that we should be measuring, to be honest.
Well,
And that's actually
Nice.
with humans that gets way harder to do once you pass a standard deviation above average.
Yes,
Right.
it
That's
does.
why guppies are such a great idea. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you watch Teal Deer's Guppies videos.
Yeah, I did, and
Yeah.
I was reminded so much of like, did you ever watch Flowers for Algernon or not watch, but read that story? It's about a mental retard and a mouse and stuff, and they're going through like a drug regimen to kind of increase their intelligence, IQ, and stuff. And
I
they're eventually-
haven't, but if you'd be so kind as to write it in the chat, I'll copy paste it and I'll try to find it. But
I should actually mention this since we're talking about it. I actually have, I don't know what the term for it is offhand. I have a bit of a mental issue myself. I went in for testing for New York State, and they actually pulled me out of the testing because of my scores. I have this disorder. I don't know what it's called, but my mind actually moves extremely fast. I used to take very high dosage buspirone so I could work. Trying to think of what it is, but basically what they told me the thing is that I have, it's very, I can basically solve puzzles very quickly, like, you know, put the round peg in a round hole, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But basically it's, well, that's part of the reasons I started coming on here and talking to people like Burnside and talking to other people like Ajax, because hard for me to find people to talk to. Like when I watch a lot of these videos that you guys are talking about, I actually watch them all on fast forward because I can't watch them at normal speed.
Dude, same.
Times, like if you'll notice, if I go quiet or if I put the microphone on, it's boring me. I really can't keep up with the conversation anymore because it's not going fast enough. That's why a lot of times, like when you first hopped in Weibo and everyone started talking again, that's why I took my microphone off, because I could actually pay attention to the conversation because it was going so fast. Not pay attention to you guys talking unless there's at least 3 of you going at the same time.
Dude,
Let
I
me
feel
ask
the
you,
same
Scoob,
way.
were you doing a fucking IQ test when they pulled you?
New York State sent me undivested, and the woman, they brought me in and they're testing me, and they gave me this paper, and they said, okay, this is an English test, and you're gonna have, for whatever reason, they gave us like 3.5 hours. So I finished it in 17 minutes.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So this is something like an IQ test or like a standardized test.
It was a whole battery of tests. I did them for a week, 8 hours a day. It was a full battery of tests New York State put me in. And the last day that I was in there, I'm doing a test for language recognition. And this guy comes in, he goes like this, put down your pen and paper, you have to come with me. Smoking pot all over the grounds all day, and it was federal, so I could have went to jail. So I got shook. I'm like, oh shit, they caught me. I'm going to go to jail. So they bring me in and sit me down in this office. And this woman's sitting across from me, and she looked like Halle Berry. Like she's like grinning ear to ear. I'm like, okay, what the fuck you say? This just tell me I'm locked up. And
Yeah, okay.
so
I'm sorry. I'm sort of familiar with this story. You're actually what's called hyper intelligent. That you're like on the extreme end. You're an anomaly. That you're not just 2. You're probably 3 or closer to 4 standard deviations above the average person.
that's
right?
what
And
she was
people-
telling me, I think, because she started talking to me about something, and she goes like this. She starts asking me all these questions. And so I started answering them, and she's smiling. She's like, do you know why I brought you in here? I said, no, I have no idea. You scored in the upper 3 percentile of the country.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. So we start going over the test, and she starts talking to me about stuff. And I said this, I go like this to her. I said, actually, that's correct, because she started going over it, because I only got a few things wrong on it. I said, well, that one's incorrect. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, look at the question. She says, yeah. I said, it says you have this bathtub and it has 2 taps. She goes, yeah. I said, and it asks if you turn one tap on, amount of time to fill the tub, how long is it going to take to fill it with both taps? And all of the answers that were on there, I said, none of them are right. So I put none of the above. She said, well, it's this one. I said, yeah, but you never put down that the guy emptied the tub to begin with.
Ooh.
2 taps. This is the second time. She said, oh. That's a really good point. She's like, I would never have thought of that. I said, well, I'll be honest, I didn't come up with it. I remembered it from an episode of Paddington Bear I seen in 1983. She goes like this.
Literally autistic.
She looks at me and she goes, you remembered that from something you seen in Paddington Bear in 1983? I go, yeah. She's like, it's 2014. I go, yeah. 31 years ago. I go, yeah. She's like, how old were you? I go, 4.
Yeah.
So she looks at me, and so she recalibrates everything. She starts. I got the paper. I'll show it to Burnside because I have his email. I can send it to him. But the woman says to me, she's like, I retallied you. She's like, you scored in the upper 2 percentile instead of the upper 3. She's like, do you have any idea what that means? I said, no, I don't know what that means. She's like, you scored higher than the people that work at NASA. I said, oh, that's really cool.
So wait, you are officially smarter than a rocket scientist?
Well, rocket science is not that hard.
I guess in just the
smart ass.
Holy shit!
I mean,
this is awesome.
Shit, I mean, but the thing is, like, they had me go and they had me come back in like a month later, and they had all these people from Albany there, and it was really weird. They wanted me to go, I think I told you about this, Burnside. They wanted me to go to school for architecture. They wanted me to make the buildings up in Albany with the pillars that look like statues and shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about architecture or sculpture. What the fuck are you people talking about? I'm a journalist. Like, no, you scored this high. We want you to go to school for this. I'm like, I'm not going to school for this shit.
That's the problem with people who are incredibly smart, is that they want what they want and they do what they do, and no one can tell them anything else. So you have the potential to do all those things, but if you're already focused, no one can fucking splay your laser into goddamn education for architecture. You're doing what you're doing.
What's that?
Right.
Michael Landon or whatever. He's got a 200 IQ and he works on a farm.
Yeah.
He fucking
Yeah.
wants to.
Yeah.
And everybody that interviews him is like, dude, you could be making millions of dollars. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
Mine's
speaking of stuff, there's this one interesting theory I heard a while ago. I don't know if it's true or not, but like it's allegedly a lot of geniuses are psychotic, and that also some of the best generals and military tacticians are also psychotic because of their incredibly high intelligence.
Patton didn't do
yeah,
nothing.
I actually saw.
Well, you have to have a low empathy to do that type of stuff too. So
No,
Oh, no, you're
I
talking
saw.
about psychopaths, Porpoise, not psychotics.
Right.
Psychopathy and psychosis are different. And
Wait, are we talking about sociopaths or psychopaths? Because there's
Uh,
also a difference there too.
Psychopaths.
and I've heard that more recently they're basically the same thing, just one is physical and one is mental.
Yeah, no. So sociopaths are more calculated in terms of they are extreme. They know what they want. Whereas a psychopath
sociopaths are incredibly empathetic because they're the type of people that play on emotions.
they are very capable of manipulating people. Let's just say that.
Yeah, psychopaths are the ones that just, I mean, it's like kind of like they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It comes down to how you can rationalize things.
But psychosis is different from both of those things, and the psychosis could actually be a product of their inability to connect with other people because they're literally streets ahead. That's a terrible fucking term. That they're just so far beyond people that they have a lot of trouble connecting with people, and they end up just on their own, and they develop certain psychoses and neuroses because they feel like everybody else is a fucking monkey. And they're human. Everybody else is animals.
I could sympathize with that. I felt like that a lot, and even today I feel like that.
So you're not even a psychopath, and I feel that way.
So so Burnside's a type A psychopath.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Probably.
I've actually never really looked down at people to that extent. If anything, I feel bad for myself. I particularly like being smarter than other people. I don't enjoy it. I really wish I was actually average.
Oh, you are. I'm sure you are in the pants. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Well, he's no 40-footer.
Yeah, but no, I'm half Sicilian, bro. The chicks love the sausage, gabish. But but you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I don't know. It never did me any good. I did like finding out that I did have a higher IQ because I honestly thought I was fucking with me, or if I was just meeting every idiot on the planet. But when you find out that there's people that are just that stupid out there, and when you're that far ahead, like, holy shit, it's communicating with a lot of people sometimes, because some of the things that I grasp blow my own head up here. I'm just saying, like, sometimes the things that I take for granted, I talk to other people, and they look at me like, huh?
Yeah.
I got
you try to talk to people, like the conversation we were just having now. Everyone in this panel I had this conversation with, I can't go out in my neighborhood and have it with anybody.
Well, that's because you live in New York. That's a little different.
Fair enough on that one.
Yeah.
They're not even smart enough to none of them can hold the conversation.
I feel that struggle,
always
honestly.
afraid that if they say anything that they're doing wrong thing and must be eradicated, or eternally apologize and become Democrats after they decompose.
Well, they should be eradicated.
Oh my god.
Not even joking.
Uh-huh.
Not even joking. I don't care. I'm of the mind that it's time for drastic measures.
Oh my
No,
god.
see, but we don't need drastic measures. All right.
Yeah, no, they'll just stop breeding by themselves.
No, they'll breed a whole fucking.
That's
ton.
the problem. They're not.
Yeah. You've seen idiocracy, right? We don't need drastic measures, though. What we need to do is take all the warning labels off of everything.
Oh my god.
That's
and
a
let it
drastic
sort
measure.
itself out.
Yeah, no, that's a
So,
drastic
I
measure.
love that idea.
Well, here's-
You're not gonna like.
I
Or
didn't say
people will like
genocide
my
a bunch of, like,
solution.
I didn't
Shower
say
cap
genocide a
fits
bunch of
one
liberals
head.
or whatever, but I wouldn't be opposed to that proposition.
Do
I mean,
not
we could all
iron
just
clothes
send to
while
Southern
wearing them.
California.
You'll
Huh?
like my solution, Purposeful. It's a very simple solution, and it's one of the ones. It's a rope a dope, I call it. What we do is you rope a dope the screwball SJWs. The bell curve. You know that's not equality. That's racist. So we're going to get rid of the bell curve. Then we get rid of affirmative action. You get rid of those two things first, right? You get rid of them. Then we have to redo the prison system where you're only allowed to serve up to 5 years in prison. Anything that goes past 5 years, we just execute you.
Oh,
You're alive no more. Now,
I like this. I like this a
you
lot.
get
you have
rid
to
of the
alter
bell
the
curve.
rules, though.
Well, I'm saying once you get rid of the bell curve, once you get rid of affirmative action, weed the idiots out of the black, community, and you'll also. There are stupid white people. There's stupid people of all persuasions, so it's going to get rid of all of them. Especially if you start getting rid of prisoners after the 5-year sentences. First off, anyone who's in there for 10 years is gone right off the bat. 6 years and over, they're gone. So you're going to clear out a lot of the prisons. Within
I have a
20 years,
question.
you'll have all of the morons locked up or dead. So we'll be good.
I have a question.
You're good.
All right. Having been incarcerated at one point in my life, is that 6 years lifetime or for one instance?
Let's start with instance and then work our way to lifetime.
Oh my god. And are we asking to reform drug laws too that are complete bullshit, or non-violent drug offenses? Are we eradicating those laws too, or
We should also keep the DACA kids, but if they commit a crime, they get deported to the Congo.
Oh my god.
I'm all for that. I mean, if
I only believe in.
Here's the
Wait a minute, didn't they try that with Australia? They just sent all the criminals there. Now look what
They
happened.
did, and then they created Australia. So we saw where that went.
So
if they go and repopulate
Well-
the Congo and turn it into this nice Australian-like place, then hey, by all means,
there you
good
go.
for them.
That's what I'm saying, man. You look on the bright side, and you're really
Well-
just doing a favor for people.
I only
Throw 'em
believe
over
in
the wall
prison
in
for
North Korea.
I only believe in prisons for hard, dangerous criminals. Anyone else, I believe we put bracelets on them. They can stay in their own fucking house. We make them work. I'm all for chain gangs. I'm very, very big proponent of hard labor. I really believe in putting them in those stupid fucking suits where they wear the black and white stripes. You chain them together and you make them break rocks all fucking day. I guarantee you're not going to be robbing no more purses after that.
See, here's the thing. With me, with regards to the population debate and the fact that we're definitely overpopulated, I feel like the population will correct itself in a sense, and I feel like it already is beginning to, with respect to the fact that, women are having trouble finding life partners, men are not having sex with women as much. I mean, we see it happening in Japan all the time. I mean, they gave women empowerment, and now the men don't want to have sex with the women or something because...
How do you figure we're overpopulated other than what you've been told all your life?
I got a lot of responses.
Because that's how resources work.
They're because resources...
It's
here's the thing.
Resources.
The way that we accrue resources to certain people, technically.
We have space.
No. You're talking about the distribution of resources.
Yeah, the distribution of resources is fucked.
Okay.
But I'm saying we're getting to that point. We're not at it. We're getting to that point.
That's a corporate capitalism problem, not a resource problem.
Yeah, that would be an every political system problem. Once shit runs out, you can't get it back. That doesn't matter what political system or what economic system you want to implement. Once it's gone, period.
But what I'm saying is that the system will
probably
you can't poof magic wand oil back into existence. Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Also true. That's why nuclear is the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Once again, that's a corporate capitalist problem, not a resource problem.
Listen, okay.
Oil is a resource.
Oil is a resource that was thrust upon us because people thought it should be thrust upon us.
I get that. But,
show you thrust.
Just because they thrust it upon us back then and they didn't have to, or they did, it doesn't matter because we have to deal with it now. So if we run out,
no, we're not dealing with it now because we still have oil. Once we do actually start to run down, you will see where the R&D will come.
I have
Well,
terribly.
you guys, I'm sure.
Go ahead,
I'm
Scoop.
sorry, Irv. I didn't. Just really quick though, before you get to your point, Irv, you guys are everyone on the stream is aware, of course, that oil has been obsolete for about 70, 80 years now.
No,
yeah.
not obsolete. That's not the right word for it. And that's something I'd like to address when I get.
Fair enough. Please.
Okay. Weebs, we are overpopulated on the planet. We're not at all overpopulated in the Western world. It's basically everywhere else that is overpopulated. And if you go back, say, 100 or 200 years in the West or the becoming Western world, they were overpopulating, right? How many kids did your grandfather have, Scoop? And how many kids was he of?
Yeah, I don't even know how many my grandfather was of, but my father was one of
Tons and even more
7.
tons.
Yeah.
My father
How
was
many,
one of
Scoop?
7. My father was one of 7. My mother was one of, I think, also like 6 or 7. I'm one of 7.
And right, why is that culturally passed down? Because guess what? 3 of the 7 of you weren't likely to make it the generation before, right? And you needed that many hands on a farm to make it work. So everywhere else that doesn't have the advantages that we have, they're overpopulating because they don't have any other choice. And we have, like this resource misdistribution or whatever, but that's because capitalism makes everybody wealthy. And if you push capitalism, right, the birth rates will slow. You're absolutely right, Weebo, that it will correct itself, but it'll correct itself because other people who are less wealthy will become more wealthy, and because they're more wealthy, more of their children won't die, so they won't need to have as many.
My whole point was that the system would correct itself, not that necessarily
it already is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is that we don't need to implement specific things because the cycle that the society and economics and humanity lives in, it corrects itself to, make up the balance essentially.
And I was just trying to point out the mechanism, right? That makes that work, right? And oil. Yeah, oil, I don't know if it's obsolete. Like, yes, we probably burn more oil for fuel than we need to because nuclear is probably the best way. Solar and wind are good backups, but they're not like the source of energy.
They're not as efficient as nuclear, but in some cases, because
but oil, guess what? All your Vaseline and all your plastics and all your fucking solar panels, they all come from fucking oil, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not talking about not using it as a. No one's talking about not using it as a commodity anymore. We're talking about not utilizing it as a fuel source.
As burning it.
No, I was talking about oil overall.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, if everyone were to convert to Teslas immediately right now, we would be creating a shit ton more pollution than
We'd be
if
10 times worse off.
What is it?
Exactly.
8 years
Because
worth of
the means of
gasoline
production-
burning to make a lithium-ion battery for a car?
Oh, I know, it's absolutely
And then you charge it through the electrics, which are mostly oil and coal powered right now because we don't have enough. We haven't had enough faith in nuclear. Like,
that's because it's the algorithm. It's stupidomics because it's like, oh, just be a trendy and accept the algorithm because fuck you, we're gonna make money off your idiocracy because you will use this and think that it's actually very efficient until you take a step back and realize, oh, all this oil and stuff was burnt to make this thing. It's not very efficient.
See, and I loved your joke though, Burnside, but I think Al Gore is behaving wrong, but I don't think that the message is not correct. I think he's onto something.
He took advantage in the message. No, he was onto something.
Yeah, sure. He made a lot of money off the message. Like,
that's what his whole intent was. He was a charlatan.
But that's capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking take this. I'm going to sell it to a bunch of morons and make a fuck ton of money.
But also, we should move towards nuclear and use oil as a commodity to make fucking plastics, right? And stop burning it. He's not wrong on that front.
They're building a fusion plant in France, right?
I heard about the fusion idea.
Yeah.
That's like
Right.
that's fucking crazy. Is that even fucking possible?
They're literally
So,
they've literally started building it.
oh, fucking finally. I remember reading that when I was younger, the theory of actually making a fusion power plant instead of fission.
That's
That's
making
right.
a little sun. That's fucking Spider-Man 2.
Nuclear
Yeah,
isn't
that's
going to work.
literally
Nobody
Spider-Man.
wants nuclear
Yeah.
energy.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
All right,
nuclear is
finish.
great. It's super efficient. It's super cheap, you know, in
And
the long
super
run or
clean.
whatever. But yeah, and super clean. Yeah, that's great. But when shit fucks up, it fucks up.
See,
Right,
and
yeah.
that's the thing.
And
I don't.
Every time it's fucked up, it's been 1960s or 1970s technology.
Right.
Trying
And
to
that's
shut it down.
Yeah, but
back
those were also fission reactors, not fusion.
Correct.
Fukushima literally happened like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but
if
that
I
was
may-
built in the 80s.
Weibo's the
Okay.
science. She knows.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter what time it was built. Everything degrades over time. Everything is
Look,
faulty.
It matters.
The point is, even if the technology was better grade, the problem isn't the technology. The problem is the fact that when nuclear does fuck up, the technology might prevent it. You know, it might make it last a little bit longer before it fucks up, but it's still going to fuck up. Everything degrades. Everything breaks.
All right.
When
What
it does fuck up?
what's
it's a
happening, though,
huge
is-
disaster.
The problem
What's
with this
happening
stuff is that we're not repairing the stuff. Like and Ajax, I think you and I had the discussion before, but the problem is with a lot of these nuclear plants and stuff. 'Cause I used to live by one over the Exelon plant over in Braidwood.
Yeah,
The
but
problem with that one is
you still can't prevent earthquakes. You can't prevent tsunamis.
no,
No, but you can.
Like shit happens. Shit happens. You can't prevent a terrorist attack on a nuclear plant.
Well, that's
No, you can never completely prevent anything. For
Right. That's
anything
exactly
to
what
do
I'm
with
saying. That's
truth,
the problem.
Somebody will always breed a bigger idiot. You can minimize it to the best as you can, but it's the most efficient we have. And in the off case we make it Chernobyl, oh well, we'll survive it.
And in the best case, we make a Spider-Man.
Oh, no, that just reminded me something. I don't think I ever told you. Somebody to label with me. 3 Mile Island went down.
Nice.
Holy shit! You were that baby. God damn!
I
No
was
wonder
born-
you're fucking
I was-
You
overpowered.
did tell me that. Yeah.
Probably. I was
think
born during the
you did
fallout.
tell
He's
me
a fucking 6'2", 250 Nephilim with a fucking hyper
Intelligent.
intelligent IQ. Oh fuck! Yeah.
Got
No
bipolar,
wonder.
too.
I mean, we're human. We eventually may destroy ourselves or may not. You know, it happens. You know, we've come very close to annihilating ourselves because over simplistic things. And if we do, we do. It's just a thing we have to accept.
Okay.
One day
okay.
we will all die, and something else will come about. And if something doesn't, then I guess we really fucked the earth, then, didn't we?
This
With Holocaust or whatever.
nuclear is a thing. Okay, barring fucking terrorist intervention.
Which you can't
Nuclear?
bar in a realistic
Well,
situation.
no,
in an honest conversation. Come on.
Honest conversation. I bet our security is. better than
That's like saying Americans and Black Americans would be great if they just stop committing all these crimes and stuff. Like
even in Canada, the best a terrorist can do is fucking steal a truck and plow it into an Edmonton police officer who gets up and beats the shit out of the guy.
Amen.
That's a true fucking story. Okay.
I don't know about you, but I watch the Die Hard movies. I know what terrorists are capable of if they get organized.
Especially
Yeah,
at this
those
time
are-
of year.
Those are fucking German
Exactly.
white terrorists, okay? And they
Hans
had
Gruber didn't do nothing.
money. They weren't real terrorists. They were just after the
They
money.
Yeah, we're
Gotcha.
talking about Waffen terrorists, not Allahu terrorism buyers.
And-
We're talking about
So, barring terrorists, all right, we'll assume that let's assume for a moment that we have security enough to prevent a terrorist attack on nuclear sites.
Mhm.
This is the one case in which I agree. I think it was Porpoise who was saying that over time, technology breaks down, you can't avoid it. And that's why I agree with the concept suddenly of fuck you, Apple, and fuck you, Android, making my fucking phone slow as fuck with planned obsolescence.
Mhm.
That if we plan that this fucking site will be obsolete, we can start building a new one 4 years before this one goes fucking
That's the
obsolete.
problem.
It costs like what, 60 million, $100 million to put one up.
No, it's
Right?
a couple of billion. But listen,
Is it billions?
Well, what happens when the human being that creates the program that keeps the thing cool puts a 0 where he should have put a 1?
Yeah.
An earthquake happens. Like I'm saying, there's too many possibilities that you can't factor into.
So we
that
don't
could
fucking
absolutely
build
prove
our
positive.
we don't build our shit in Japan on their fucking fault lines, right? We keep them as safe as possible. We make all the plans. We understand tectonics to a degree at least, and we can, to a degree, plan for it. Like that. What is that? Column 2 of science, right? Obviously, we're never going to know whether or not there's going to be a fucking earthquake in the middle of fucking Toronto's downtown. But you know,
That's why you
we
can
put
put
our
it
fucking.
downtown.
So my question is, instead of trying to play the, you know, with all due respect, everyone here is pretty intelligent or whatever, but you know, and I'm a very pragmatic and realistic person, and I'm an observationalist. I study a lot of different stuff. It makes far more sense to take all the money that people are spending on, you know, in this idealistic situation that we seem to have come to. It makes far more sense to take all of the money for, you know, nuclear energy R&D, construction, permits, all this other stuff, and just funnel it into some other technology that's safer.
Yeah, but there is no other technology that can actually provide the power we require. And is safer. We do.
You
Guys.
don't know that.
At this point, there is no other
At this point, that's what R&D is for.
Guys, alternate solution. We don't have to fucking produce anything jackedly squat on this planet. Let's ship all of our industrial production to Mars and then have them deal with all of the bullshit there. It's fine.
Just laser it back to us. What is
Wait,
that?
didn't
Fucking
Elon
Sin
Musk do that
City?
in South Park?
Did he? I honestly, to be honest, and this is gonna sound really bullshit, but I've never actually seen like a full episode of South Park. I saw
Get
the
the fuck
movie,
out.
but I never like I want
She's
to,
too
but I
young.
don't know how. Like it's not on Netflix anymore, and the moment I decided to like sit down and watch it, it was gone, which is bullshit.
here
I'm
now.
really concerned with everything
Alright.
about energy. The main goal, the ultimate goal, is a Dyson sphere. If you guys don't know what that is, look
Probably
it up.
shouldn't be fucking around with that either. I mean, let's be real. It's the fucking sun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
like that?
If we
That's
get
what the
Dyson sphere,
fucking-
maybe
Oh,
some
That's
other
why I'm
solar system
afraid of
where
the
we don't
fusion
live.
reactor.
Holy fuck! That and now I know what you're talking about, and that there are so many implications. There are so many like just pragmatical.
Okay. Hold
that
on, guys.
you do not want to get into
We
with that.
got onto the whole energy, resources, all that because of overpopulation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
How many people on the earth right now?
7.5 billion.
7.5, yeah.
Okay. If we take all
Which is
7.5
like 6.5 billion too much, if you ask me. But whatever.
if we take all 7.5 billion people on Earth, can we fit them in the landmass of Alaska?
Fuck, we can fit
yeah,
them in the
probably.
landmass of fucking
Scrunch them really close
Jacksonville,
together.
Florida.
Yeah, stack them
We
up,
can fit
chop
them in-
them up, dice them up, turn
No,
them into
no,
fucking
no,
ashes.
no,
Yeah.
Here,
What the
I'll-
fuck are you talking about? We can fit them in Jacksonville, Florida, shoulder to shoulder. They can
Okay.
all fucking stand in Jacksonville.
Hold on.
Fine.
Hold
That
on.
sounds
I'll give you
awful.
I'll give you the exact
Yeah,
number.
it's awful, but you're asking where we can put them.
If we take everybody, 7.45 billion people on the earth right now, ship them all to Alaska, including us,
Yeah.
we would each have 2,150 square feet of land each. Now, that leaves the rest of the earth for farming, energy resources, all that. You're telling me we're overpopulated?
Yes.
We're
No, not at all.
Absolutely not.
we overuse the resources and we waste them, and a lot of that
Yeah,
is
wasteful,
basically it. But a lot of that is energy, man.
Yeah.
Right. And nuclear. Okay, I know people are afraid of nuclear. Like, oh, if fucking terrorists fucking attack nuclear,
No,
you'll
even-
have a Chernobyl. Guess what? This guy's fucking making cracks about that he was born the day 3 Mile Island happened. You know what happened
Mhm.
on 3 Mile Island? Nothing.
Yes.
Everything went according to plan. The multiple fucking safety systems engaged, and nothing happened. That's what 3 Mile Island was.
Beyond
Like,
Yeah, no shit. It's not like I have flippers that glow in the dark. Nothing like that.
no, yeah, like I mean, fuck, like what happened with 3 Mile Island was that everything worked as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And nobody was hurt. No, there's no fucking flipper kids. There's no fucking 10-eyed fish like the fucking Simpsons, right?
You don't know that.
We've been super safe about nuclear because we know that it can create problems in the short term. And guess what? Long term, there's no spike in Hiroshima or Nagasaki over cancer or mutation or anything. Those things don't exist there. They just don't exist. They were fucking nuked.
Have you seen anime?
Yo, you want to tell me that's a fucking, like, that's a great joke. It's hilarious, but straight goods, there is no increase in cancer. You know what the worst thing that happened in fucking Japan from nuclear was? That there are some porn star chicks that have fucking macromastia, that they have fucking triple G tits.
Talking about.
Now you're making me feel bad. Okay, not.
What is that? Double D, sweet?
I have triple B's.
So
so you're ahead of the curve. Don't fucking worry.
So wait a minute. We saved 4 million Japanese lives by dropping 2 bombs, and they have giant tits. Win-win.
Yeah, exactly my point, right?
So what you're saying is we should nuke the rest of the planet.
No, I'm saying that nuclear and radiation.
I like this argument now.
Nuclear and radiation isn't what we think it is, and when it works as it's supposed to, and it mostly does,
we want to bomb North Korea. What the fuck?
Because those North Korean girls with the fucking swanging tats.
Oh boy.
So
no, because what I mean is
all those guys that were working on Fukushima that like are dead now because of radiation exposure. That wasn't because of radiation exposure.
No.
No, he said
it wasn't
short-term
because
versus
of
long-term.
radiation exposure. I'm saying it was. That was because of acute radiation exposure and a fucking Japanese cultural discipline that made them stay as long as they did, basically until they died working to fucking solve the problem. And you know what? None of the children in the surrounding area developed more cancer than other children elsewhere. Right? Nobody else got their faces melted off. All right? Those guys live on fucking fault lines, and they built fucking nuclear plants there. That had its own fucking problems. That's not nuclear.
People have been going back to Chernobyl for a decade now.
They've been going back since 3 months after fucking the fucking 10.5 fucking kiloton lit. Yeah. Fuck. That's my people. All right? That they walked back into the woods. All right? They can still fucking pull out rats that fucking glow under the fucking what is it called? The Geiger counter, right? And none of those rats are sick. They don't have fucking tumors. They're slightly irradiated.
They're slightly irradiated.
I wonder if that changes the way
they
they
don't live
taste.
shorter lives. They don't have fucking growths. They're not fucking two-headed rats.
Guys, here's the problem though. We have not done a knockout study on rat radiation levels. No.
Well, I mean,
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
yeah, me too. I was gonna say, I think an average rat's radiation level should be around 1 or 2.
Look, if you dump a bunch of rads on me or a rat right now, we're gonna die. But if you fucking blow those rads and they come down after a fucking explosion, and rats and I go back to the fucking land where the rads are coming down, we're gonna adjust, because mammals are one of the most adaptive creatures that have ever walked the face of the earth. And they had to be, because guess what? They existed before the last fucking major fucking thing where dude,
extinction level event.
The ELE 65 million years ago, that fucking thing produced, like, what is it? A million times more energy than all of the world's combined nuclear power now, right? Like it basically, like, the world was teeming with life, and then bang, and the world was basically devoid of life, and mammals survived. We're uniquely adapted to that, to the fact that, to the point that pigs, seagulls, they're not mammals, neither are cockroaches, but those three animals are not affected by rads. They can survive basically being cooked, where other animals would fucking cook and die. Pigs and seagulls and cockroaches would thrive, and that would be enough to propagate life on the planet. And we treat nuclear like it's this huge danger, but when it works properly, it is the cleanest energy we can have, and the most what's the word? You know, where you get your bang for your buck.
Cost efficient?
Yes.
Efficient, yeah.
We get a huge amount of energy for literally nothing, right? It's like billions of dollars to put up a plant, but after that, the energy is almost free.
So,
and as long as it works for
it pays for itself.
Irving,
But-
I want to play devil's advocate with you for a sec. Okay, so all of this sounds fine and dandy, and I totally see where you're coming from, and I actually kind of, in some way, on some level, with the correct, procedures taken, do support nuclear energy. But I have to ask you: would you yourself live next to a nuclear power plant in, like, say, the Ring of Fire?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, what's
do.
next to? Because I live
Well, not
about
next to, but near.
I
can
live
see the
about
stacks
50
from my
kilometers.
porch.
How far are you?
How far am I? It's approximately 15 miles. In a
Okay,
straight line.
15 miles is what, like 26, 28
26
kilometers?
kilometers.
Yeah. I live about 50 kilometers from mine, and you know what? The houses within fucking 10 kilometers
Mhm.
are real cheap, and I'm really dying to fucking move out there. All right. Yeah,
No,
because
I live on high ground, so I can actually see the very tops of the two stacks.
fuck, nice. Right.
Okay,
And
so
I
I
mean,
just wanted to know where you
Yeah.
stood with regards to that.
yeah, absolutely. I know if something terrible goes wrong, it can be terrible. But when you burn oil and you burn coal, it's going wrong the whole fucking time. That if you live within 100 kilometers of places like that, especially over periods of 50 and 100 years, which have been happening, right? You're breathing in all those particulates that is actually terrible for you while it's working the way it's supposed to. And
Yeah.
we're terrified of nuclear going wrong, right? When it works well, there are no particulates. Okay? And what's gone wrong? 3 Mile Island, that didn't go wrong. That actually all the safeties fucking kicked in and nothing bad happened to anyone in the surrounding areas. Chernobyl, that was fucking the last of the USSR. And guess what? People went back there within months of the event. And they're all fine. You know, like nuclear is the future. It really is, for the volume of energy we need to help not only the Western world, but the way you're saying everyone else is overpopulated and we're looking for a balance. If they want to find that balance, they need that energy to slow down their fucking reproduction rate, and they're only reproducing at that rate because so many children die before 5 years old. We don't have that problem in the West, right? They have it everywhere else. And if they had that energy, and if they had that safety that's brought on by that energy and by nuclear, I think
The biggest problem we have with nuclear here in the I'm sorry, Irv, I thought you were
yeah,
done.
no. I'm basically done. I'm just ranting now.
The biggest problem we have with nuclear here in the States, I can actually use my own home as an example. All the way out east from me, they have what's called the Shoreham Nuclear Power Plant. They started building this thing when I was a kid. It turned into a complete clusterfuck. It never got turned on. It's actually just sitting there without any nuclear shit in it. It's a
Yeah,
shell.
we have one of those in Central Illinois too.
reason, I'm guessing what happened to the one in Central Illinois is the same thing that happened out of Shoreham. And the reason was it was public works, meaning it was run by the state, and it was union. Done horribly. The main thing with a lot of people down here in the States is if you want nuclear power plants to get put up, people will back them up a lot more if it's privately done and it's non-union.
No,
specifically because it'll be done right.
What happened to us is Barack Obama basically put a kibosh on the funding halfway through.
Oh, that one. I remember reading about that. Yeah.
Yes. Now, the other thing Obama did in his second year in office, there was a $20 billion bill that would upgrade all nuclear facilities to modern equipment, to redo valving, to make safety a priority. He killed it.
What?
That's fucking.
Yeah, we still have nuclear power plants with with the green CRT screens. It looks like that movie War Games.
Oh my god.
Instead of
that was a good movie.
Modern computerized.
No, but I mean, like,
great movie.
There's relay technology running nuclear plants when they should have been upgraded 10 years ago.
Are you telling me that my editing hardware and software is
10 times what the nuclear facility near my house is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Okay,
You have to realize that the technology they're using is older than you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I'm nearly 20 years old.
When you buy a birthday card, when you buy a birthday card and you open it and it plays a song,
that's the type of tech they
really do. I like
that has more computing capacity than half of our nuclear plants because
yeah.
This actually irks me to a very substantial degree.
Feeling better
Really
about
like though
it
if they
than
actually
most of
did
those
upgrade
people.
it though.
But they never upgraded them. They call Trump the anti-science, anti-technology guy, but Obama killed upgrading nuclear power plants.
And I know that they didn't upgrade them. Just saying, imagine the leaps and bounds that could be accomplished if they actually, took 5 minutes to put an i7 processor in one of these fuckers.
Like, I mean,
So-
and gee, it doesn't even have to be like everything at once. It has to be one at a time. Like, hey,
Yes.
for the next 4 years, let's build a new one. And the 4 years after that, we'll do another. And yes, they're very expensive, but you know what? Every one you build is going to save everyone a whole lot of money on fucking energy costs.
Of course.
And you're
No,
going to
but I'm
slowly...
with it.
I am curious as to why that build was cut down.
Because he's a fucking communist. Where's fucking Burnside to fucking Allahu fucking communism bar this shit?
Specific reason difference to that, because I am of the opinion that there is a reason for a lot of stuff, and it's not just a simple label type thing.
Our
No,
country
no.
has
Like-
been fucked by oil from day one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
That's
whole
why he
reason
killed
why
that bill.
marijuana is illegal, why hemp, even non-THC hemp is illegal.
Oh, don't even
the
get me
reason
started
why
on that. One of the states that I live in, like full time, just legalized that pill of shit.
Look,
Yeah.
I mean,
in defense of oil, all right, oil helped a whole bunch, and it has its value, and it did a great job.
of course.
But yeah, we need to move away from it now. We really do, slowly but surely.
Exactly. If oil was so good, why isn't there an oil 2?
Yeah. Weebo. Hey, Weebo, you wanna hear something that's interesting? Check this out.
It was
Yeah,
called
what's up?
oil.
Hit me.
Do you own any nylon stockings?
Yeah.
It is illegal.
You're gonna have to
1940
walk me through this.
Really?
In 1947, marijuana was declared illegal by the federal government due to the fact that DuPont Fabrics came out with this new fabric called nylon. I might have my date off. It might be a little bit earlier in the 40s. But it got declared illegal specifically because nylon is the main competition, or was the main competition to domestic hemp.
There was a ton of reasons.
Oh,
And
shit.
hemp
Well, no,
paper
because
just in
I
general.
was under the impression that it was the suffragettes movement who to essentially, well, no, because I did the research on this for a video. They were essentially trying to reduce the criminality.
They needed something to replace after they repealed prohibition, and they had all this big thing built up that they were going after liquor. It just so happened nylon came out at the same time. It was it was a perfect storm.
Oh, it was a perfect story.
And then they had the Propaganda and Reefer Madness, which is one of my favorite films, but still.
But even earlier, there was this idea that hemp could make like an alternative fuel in a last resort, and also it was
not as a last resort. It makes a beautiful biofuel.
Right, but it's not the same as gasoline. Like
no. I'm saying as far as diesel, it's superior.
Oh yeah,
superior to diesel. That I'll have to check. Not that
It is
trust you
superior
and love
to
you, Ajax.
Irving. Chemically, vegetable oil is superior to diesel.
Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
I'm not kidding you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's what I know for sure is that hemp and marijuana are smokable. And this is World War I still, I think, that tobacco plantations basically said, hey, we're going to supply all your soldiers in the U.S. for free as long as you fucking do us a favor. And hemp and marijuana products became illegal. Right, that they suddenly went hard against that because
it was a number of things actually. It was
it's a number of things, but that was one of them, and that was actually a big one.
The paper industry, the rope industry, obviously as far as smoke went, that as well.
Tobacco.
Yeah.
And then
all those industries fought hard against hemp. I'm sorry, GCV. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because I totally could be, but I also know that I've heard that there was a stigma, too, that Vietnam was a reason, too, that they were kind of cracking down on marijuana in general, because we're sending soldiers over, they were smoking it, and then kind of like deserting. So kind of also was
over there, too.
I believe they double cracked down on it. Yeah, double down for sure.
Like you said, it was the perfect storm, right?
Yeah, it's been a perfect storm for a long time, though. Like I think from as far as back as World War I and carried through to World War II, all the way into Vietnam, for sure, right? And now we have fucking Colorado, Washington State. There's other states doing this now. I'm not sure which ones.
Idaho,
my country,
parts of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I mean. Like they're trying to undo it, and yet still federally, they're still trying to crack down on it. These guys, all in your states, have to have fucking mobile banks, right? So they can't be fucking pinched by the DEA and have all their funds seized, right?
Yeah, most banks I know in Colorado won't even associate with the money because they're afraid that they'll even get in trouble for it. So it's like they have to do pretty much everything very backwards.
And you have mercs running around with fucking urban trucks filled with cash. Right.
Hey, guys, before we go on to the next topic, I have to go to bed. It's like 1 o'clock, and I have to be awake.
Actually, I was going to. Oh, Burnside.
I've got 2 hours here. This is way too long. That's all your fault, Lebo.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Had the supervisor come by.
Burnside, put in your headphones because we sound like we're at Wrigley Field.
No, he's going to fix it.
Today is.
Weebo, hang out because you actually just interrupted me. I was about to say we have the 3-minute warning because I only let it run.
Only an hour.
Yeah, no, I let it run long because I let it run long because you hopped in, and this is actually the stream was a little bit herky jerk before you hopped in. You actually brought some substance to it, so you kind of fired everyone up. So I said, fuck that. We had an hour where we were all just like, so I figured we'll do an extra hour. We actually have pep.
Yeah, thanks, Weebo. No, thank you.
What was that?
Yeah, it's good to have a topic.
Seriously.
Like, all I was going to wind up doing was talking about the dead bodies and that.
I love dead bodies. Let's talk about that next.
Good to see you, Mushery.
Before we wrap up the stream, I wanted to mention, since you guys are talking about the marijuana laws, what they're doing here now in New York is you can get medical marijuana as long as you sign away your Second Amendment right.
Right.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Yep.
My nigga.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
No, that's a pretty horrible idea.
and
Yeah.
that's
We can all
that's just
universally
where we'll leave
disagree that this is a bad idea, and agree this is a very bad fucking idea.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
fucking. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Break.
The terrible
when you
idea.
have a mafioso running the state. This is what they do. That's what
I'm
happens.
so sorry.
Because the mafioso don't want nobody shooting back. He wants to
Exactly.
send in his red guards
Yeah.
to rape you thoroughly, take your money, and then after they get done, wreck up the place, do whatever the hell they want, and then say, hey, if you want to live to see tomorrow, you will vote for us, or we'll kill you and make you vote for us.
And I haven't heard from my man Mentis here, right? Who's got trees for brains and lives up north and has a gun, right? Like, how do you fucking feel about something like that?
About the signing away Second Amendment for marijuana?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
retarded.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
But
No, hey.
because, well, there's I have friends of mine who actually have marijuana prescriptions, and I dabble once in a while. And there's some with higher THC and some with what's called the higher CBDs.
Yep.
And basically, it's different buzzes. The CBD, the higher CBD, which is lower THC, it's more of a relaxation thing. Like it doesn't impair you. You don't get no euphoric side effects. It doesn't impair your judgment in any way whatsoever. It just allows you to relax, and that's what a lot of people do it for like anxiety issues and like schizophrenia and whatnot.
Especially if you're going for the CBD, most likely you're going to be vaping since that's released at a higher temperature. So you just have people that are going to just be like eating a lot of food and just kind of chill.
Well, even then, like I tried the higher CBD stuff, and it's just relaxing. Like you're not high, you're just very, very relaxed.
yeah,
Exactly.
you don't.
You
don't feel
that's what I've been
fucking couch-
smoking the entire stream right now. Is that what you're talking about? That
Yeah.
grade?
My man.
Nice.
Yeah, I get it from it's basically it's the only way I can concentrate on the stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this. I have to smoke through the whole thing.
Hey, whatever works, man. I mean, hey,
Well, you
I'm
remember
all
when
for
we-
I have to drink.
Yeah, I'm on
you
that
have to
drinking
drink
too.
for me. You have to drink for me.
Wow,
damn it,
is it
because
that
I
bad,
cannot
you
do
guys?
them at work.
You
Not
know what?
bad.
It was
Like-
cool till you showed up with fucking Andy Worski's pro pedo and he's letting these fucking mental girls get fucking raped by fucking French Canadians.
I am so sorry. I won't.
No,
comment
it's not your
myself.
fault. I would have done this anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just
Revo, you
blaming
gotta understand. I'm only physically possible. I'm only capable of sleeping 4 hours at a clip.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, that sucks,
I
dude.
actually have like a really bad hyperactive problem. That's one of the reasons I kicked it off so well with Sylvanas, because she speaks like over a dozen languages, and I can read 500. I read 500 words a minute.
Damn,
So-
dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no.
actually not 500 words. It's 478, but I'm rounding it
Yeah,
up.
but
But
that's
still,
fucking like
That's amazing, dude. That's legendary.
dude, the moment I fucking spoke to you, I knew that this was a man that's like of well above average intelligence, and I'm gonna struggle to keep up with him.
Wait
And
a
I'm
minute.
glad to have you
I
as a
meant
fucking
that.
bro online, okay? Like I really
Thank you.
love your shit, man. Like I've got a fucking man crush on you like you wouldn't believe. I got a man crush on you
Dick,
too,
why don't
but
you?
that's for a different reason.
Oh,
So what we're
thanks.
saying is Scoob
You're
is
so
Dovahkiin.
Scoop, like no, my man Pox has called him Nephilim. All right.
yeah.
That's
son
how
of
slow I
men
am.
and angels that he's fucking 6'2", 250 and fucking smart as the fucking whip. Like just incomparable. There are no humans like this
He makes
man.
The whip looks dumb.
Well, I wish more people like knew me in person thought that way. I actually freak people out when they meet me. I think it's because I have like the eyes like those vampires in Twilight that really throws people the fuck off.
I see
Wait,
you.
for
I
sparkly?
love you.
I thought it was really cool when I met you. I was like, oh, he is a tall bastard. Because I was just looking for the fucking bandana. And like, I'm over here, asshole. I see your fucking red hat. And I was like, oh, there you are.
I have no idea who any of you are, but this has been fun.
You know
I've had a
what?
blast.
Shit, you should speak up more, man, because I kind of like you. Every time you open your mouth, I'm like, yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
This guy G.
this is second time I've streamed with Mentis, and the first time I've streamed with G. I've had a good time with both of you.
Yeah,
I'm
Mentis,
glad you
no,
saw the
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, I just
Seriously.
interesting conversations. You know, I don't get to have these anywhere else.
Kenneth, yeah,
Exactly.
but
You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad I started doing this because it made me feel bad, you know, dealing with the people I deal with, living in vapid New York. I really thought that the world was turning into shit, and you really do. This means a lot to me
dude.
talking to you guys. Seriously.
Thanks, Scoob.
We
Thanks
you
for the
have no
invite.
idea. Talking to you, hon, you give me so much hope for the future. Hottest kids I've ever met. Seriously.
Yeah,
Aw.
no, you're that generation that follows us. That I hope we're having a good influence on you. I hope we're not fucking pissing you the fuck off, right?
Oh no, you're fine. I'm good.
Nah, seriously,
good,
I want
good.
you know it's the end of the year. We're gonna end the stream in a few minutes, but I just want to say this, you know, with Burnside and with Weebo, with the two of yous. You know, Burnside is a very good-looking young man. He's a handsome boy. I get on him all the time for being, you know, that he looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid. You know, but I busted his balls because he reminds me of one of my nephews. You are a very beautiful girl. You are. You're intelligent. You got all this charisma. The two of you, in my opinion, you guys are like role models. Seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, no. I wondered why I liked them both.
Go
They
forth
do.
and carry our
They
message.
are.
I think it's because they both look like their sandwich game is pretty on point.
Oh fuck you. I made a sandwich earlier.
I'm-
Okay, hold on.
Pristine.
Really taste my ahi tuna sandwiches, man. I make some really good fucking ahi tuna, and
What?
when I fucking barbecue, man, I've made black people worship my chicken. If the hood can put down its gun,
Well, damn, we got a badass over here.
oh
My
yeah.
ex-girlfriend. Okay, let me step your game up. My ex-girlfriend used to take fucking hash brown potatoes, fry the shit out of them, and then make BLTs.
Oh,
Hash brown potatoes as the bread. Go make
Dude.
sandwiches.
Oh,
Talk because we need an entire stream dedicated to sandwich making. No joke.
oh, fuck yeah. If
I'll
No,
fuck
we're
it. I'm
done.
down. I'm down.
Yeah, whenever I get my phone working and shit, I will absolutely finagle a fucking way to live stream me making a motherfucking sandwich, or if I can barbecue at my parents', I'll get the chicken. I'll say, "This is the chicken the hood will not shoot me for," because it's that
You got-
fucking good.
You guys ever seen that T-shirt? It's like fucking rye with fucking 3 bits of fucking meat and lettuce and fucking mustard and fucking more rye and triple decker stacked with a fucking
Oh,
toothpick
the
and the
Jack one.
olive, and it says self
Mm. Oh,
sandwich
yeah.
or like the fuck.
fuck.
Oh God.
That's good
Well,
shit.
Weebo,
Dude.
you could always do that on your stream tomorrow night.
What's
You are hosting
tomorrow's
tomorrow night, right?
tomorrow's Friday.
No, this is Friday.
No,
Are
this
you
is-
high?
This is
This is
wait,
Friday
today's
going
Friday?
into Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Wait.
Yep.
Friday.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
no.
is
Okay.
Friday,
No. It's not Saturday until I've fallen asleep and woken back up again. Okay.
It's Saturday morning.
Doesn't fucking count. It's still fucking Friday. Wait,
Canadian lives
Friday?
matter.
Seriously? What the shit? I lost a fucking day.
What?
Oh, because she's 19, she goes to fucking uni and she's fucking works hard, right?
It's
Yeah,
fucking Saturday.
days get lost, man.
And you've got to contain that 40 feet, man. You've got to contain that 40 feet.
Oh shit! I have a video that I gotta make.
All right.
I haven't even
All right,
fucking scripted it yet. Oh shit! Good thing it's gonna be like negative.
Yeah, well, you're falling behind.
Oh yeah,
All right.
All right.
Stuff.
Okay.
Poor Sylvanas is like, when are you gonna get your green screen up so you can do my stuff? And I was like, literally every time I try and get some stuff together, it's either I reuse the old footage and it looks like crap, so I can it, or it's like I get one piece of equipment and lose the other. Like I literally just found my fucking camera. It was hiding in my car, and I was like, all right, now I can go record. Then my cell phone dies, and I was like, well, what the hell am I going to use to record audio? And I retried it for 6s, just using the audio from my camera. It picks up too much shit, and it's just like, I don't like how it sounds. I need the fucking stupid contraption phone working so I can get decent audio.
Hey, I'm still waiting on you for that T-shirt. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys,
I lost your picture for a while, and I
Still gonna buy
refound
a
it. 'cause I
Souls
put it up
t-shirt.
somewhere.
I don't know how likely it is going to be that I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow, depending on how fast I get that video cranked out. But I will
So let's end the stream.
make an
so
effort.
you get to gotcha.
Well,
All right.
Listen,
let us know ahead of time, and one of us will pick it up.
All right,
if
thanks.
if I can jump in here, I want to say, fucking
No.
Weibo. I've had this argument with people recently. Jump into the stream if you can, but you know what? You do you. Okay.
Thanks, Boo.
Yeah, that's what's gonna make you successful. Is you do fucking you. Okay.
All right, thanks, Boo.
If you
Yeah.
send me a link to your
All right.
video, I can try to shill it to people.
You demand.
My advice is do someone else. It's usually more fun.
Cross promotion, all that shit. That's all valuable, G. But I mean, she's gonna do her. I hope she does her and is successful anyway. Like,
Pretty sure she'd rather do her boyfriend.
Oh, that's an entire different story for an entirely different stream, my dudes.
Oh my!
There's gonna be a stream for that. All listen.
It's going to be the after hours stream.
Okay. So I do have to go.
Just one question.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Good night.
It was nice meeting you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah. Love you, gentlemen. Mwah.
Good night.
She's not your buddy guy.
All right.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
Back to a sausage fest.
Okay. Gentlemen, the lady has left the room. We can wrap up this little wing ding and land this bird because it's been circling for a while now. So, all right, we're gonna go through our outros. Burnside.
All right, sure. I am the Burnside Film Project. You can find me on YouTube, BitChute, and Gab AI. I am on Twitter as Burnside_bums, or as my buddy Irving here gets it backwards as
The bum side burns.
And I'm at Discord too. Just look for the guy with the cool looking hat and gas mask.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that avatar by now.
Oh yeah.
GCV.
Hi, I'm GCV. You can find me multiple places on the interwebs. Trust me, if you go look in any kind of Discord, I'm there, always lurking. Twitter is GCV for the FTW. I don't post much there, but I'm always on Discord.
Ajax.
Greater Ajax on YouTube, Minds and Gab, GCV and Mentis. Pleasure. Good meeting you, GCV.
Good meeting you too.
Oh, it's fun doing this with both you dudes, man.
Yeah, I want to give a very special thank you to Scoop here for inviting me because he didn't know me at all. Invite me to Discord, invite me to the Hangout, and it's been pretty awesome.
Because Scoop's fucking cool as shit, man. Like,
because he's our sanctioned Nephilim. He's our lesser outer god.
It's been great hanging out with all you guys too.
He's got that fucking eye, right? That this guy fucking, like, this guy, bring him in. And, like, you did a great job. I fucking love you,
knows, man. He fucking knows.
Yeah.
He's got the skill, dude. He finds great people.
Fuck.
Thanks, guys. This has been a really cool stream. You guys are really good friends. I
It was a
appreciate
lot of fun.
everything.
Tonight was
Oh
great.
yeah, we all have to fucking meet up in person and just get just party like the fucking animals we are, dude.
We'll figure out something. Diogenes has his server, and we're going to figure out something cool to do.
I'd love to hang out with Dio. Holy shit. Yeah.
Well,
God, yeah.
you got to come down here to the States, man.
Yeah, if it ain't Kilroy, we'll find fucking something, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, another story.
Yeah, speaking of which, Irv.
Irv, I'm fucking
Irv, give
Irving
me-
Quinn, the angry drunk fucking Canadian. I'm on all that fucking social media bullshit, but not so much lately. Fucking forgive me. But yeah, I stream with these guys, and I love them. I hope they love me.
We do. We love you, dude.
Drinks.
Yeah, you're the man.
Cheers, my bro.
Beer.
Yep. Mentis?
Yeah, I'll be my alt mentorstry on YouTube. A lot of different Discords. I like to hang out a lot of different streams. I enjoy the conversations. What I lack in actual education, I make up for in life skills. and experience. And yeah, fucking, I've been enjoying my red pill process for quite some years now.
I'll tell you this, man. Fuck,
Very
I
cool.
wish you would fucking open your fucking mouth more. On the, fucking, if you feel like you're a fucking wedge yourself into the fucking moment, man. We love that shit. We all fucking back off. We're all goddamn Canadians.
Well, I'm a typical Northern Canadian, so we don't like to intrude too much.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is here. If you fucking force your way in, we'll fucking let you.
Oh, that's something that'll work itself out as I
hope
get to
so,
know you
because
better.
I like your fucking content. I didn't mean to fucking scale you like a boot.
No,
but I wanted to point out
say
that's
a lot.
What's real, right? Like we're a culture. We have a fucking we exist, man.
Yeah, stereotypes exist for a reason.
No, it's really cool. That the whole Canadian thing is cool, guys. That's actually, you gotta realize it's foreign to me. I dig that. That's
oh, come on. Germany
wild.
and Canada have no culture.
Post nationalism. No, and here's why I'm fucking dropping on that right here. Mentis, GC. I'm gonna do after hours, and I'm gonna invite you guys. But I don't have you on my Discord, so I'm gonna ask other people to fucking send you the fucking links. But okay.
From an invite link before
Sounds
we close
good.
this thing out for your Discord, because since my phone's gone down, Discord has been my way to keep tabs with every motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Better off sending it to him. I'm finishing out as soon as I end the stream.
All right, and
too bad, because I love you, Scoop. Like, we should be married.
Seriously, I'm gonna man. I gotta get myself. My wife is gonna kill.
Yeah, but Pox is gonna be mad because I should be married to him.
Two tops can't get married.
Oh, that's the thing. I forgot to ask Weibo. I forgot to ask her. Okay, how much of the 40-footer can he take? The poor bastard.
And on that note, I am Scooby331 here on YouTube, on Minds, and on Gab. Hey, hi.
Welcome to your family-friendly stream, everyone.
The monetization, nothing. They're out in the streets with torches and pitchforks for this stream. So, gentlemen, it's been a fun evening. I thank you all for being here, for streaming with me. I'm ending this one, and yeah, I will see you all next time in 2018.
Good night, all.
Happy New Year.
Night.
Yep. Shout
Happy New Year, fucking Stu.